What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of Weights and Dates. I, of course, am your host, Donovan Sharpe. On tap is the co-host, my man, Myron, 5% Body Fat Gains. Myron, what's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? How we doing? I'm happy to be here. This is going to be a good one, guys.
Listen, this is going to be a really, really good one. So I've got, and by the way, guys, Steve the Dean Williams and Mr. Hashim Lucario are going to be in studio at Studio B tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So be sure to tune in for that. Of course, the very first guest was Myron Gaines. I had Terrence Pop on last weekend. So listen, these Studio B shows they've been unbelievable, man. I've gotten all sorts of support. Guys are saying, listen, man, this is the kind of stuff that's going to cause us to go mainstream. What are your thoughts on Studio B thus far, man?
Dude, it's awesome, man. I mean, I told you this a year ago, Donovan, that you were going to be the Joe Rogan of this thing, man, and be the first one to get everything I say. By the way, guys, I called out like a year ago because obviously me and Donovan are friends. We talk offline, and I told him, hey, man, you need to get the studio going, you need to bring people in, and you're going to be the first guy to get national attention, like from a mainstream source. And guess what happens? Dr. Phil hits him up, and I told it months ago. It's actually on your podcast, Studio One. If you guys look at the top. When he said sickest podcast ever, in the comments, I put on this day at this time, he will be the first one. And then guess what happened? Boom, Dr. Phil hits him up a few weeks later. So, I don't want to say I'm psychic, but if you guys want me to predict your future, it's $1,000 an hour. I'm just kidding.
Miss Cleo, I guess Myron Gaines as the male Miss Cleo
Gaines.
Hey, there you go. Cleo Gaines. Counselor Murray with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Ed Lattimore's in the house. Hashtag heat up the spoon. Somebody asked if Lauren, somebody said something about Lauren Chen. Tom Brokaw says, LOL, what Lauren Chen doesn't watch this channel? I don't really know what that means, but then Danny Arnold says, Lauren Chen is my favorite just pre-wall Asian chick out there. Still wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her. She's still a woman, LOL. I don't want to get off topic here, but there are a lot of women who make pro-male material. Lauren Chen happens to be one of those people. But what a lot of guys need to understand is that this is exactly why women come after us, because they know we're telling the truth, right? They tell us, oh my God, you guys are so full of it, blah, 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 blah. If we were so wrong, they wouldn't worry about us, right? That would be like me getting all bent out of shape if somebody goes on the internet and says, Donovan Sharpe exposed. He's fat. He lives with his mother. He lives in his mother's basement, and his girlfriend is 400 pounds. I'm not going to pay any attention to that because that's simply not true. The reason why we have gotten the attention of women, men, single mothers, and the mainstream media is because they know we're over here making a difference and making a change. All of that said, Lauren Chen knows exactly what we know. Yes, she's a woman, but that doesn't mean she's a woman. A woman could be as red pill aware. She could be a tradcon, blah, 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 but she still operates within the same female it is all other females. Does that make her a bad person? No, but it still makes her a woman.
Yeah, man. I mean, guys, you got to understand the reality is anytime you expose unflattering realities on both ends, whether it's male or female, talking about how is a guy you need to, have these attraction triggers to get women, or women look for this in men, and you give unflattering truths that isn't like, give her roses, be a nice guy. That doesn't follow the chivalry, narrative. People are going to fight back on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just the unfortunate. Women never want to have guys know the unflattering realities of what it takes to truly be attracted to them. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course not. And the reason for that is because women simply do not like it when they don't have a decided advantage on the sexual marketplace. And listen, I can't say I blame them, right? I mean, back in the day, women had to bring so much more to the table in order to lock down, consolidate on a man of value. Well, that changed over the next 40, 50 years. Guys are now starting to wake up. So women are starting to figure out, or guys are starting to figure out, wait a minute, if I want to be happy, she's got to bring a lot more than PTA. And I'm not talking about parent-teacher conferences to the relationship. Listen, I can get booty anywhere I want to, right? What can you give me outside of the pleasure you give me in the bedroom? And women are like, wait a minute, we've been getting away with getting attention and resources and provisioning for literally existing. Now we're going to have to do more. So women, what it comes down to, Myron, and I don't blame them, but it is what it is. Women don't want to have to work for what they're already getting for free. This is why they come after us. Well, guess what? That's up to us. if we as men want women to improve, we must require more from our women. If we are giving women provisioning, resources, attention, status, all this other kind of stuff for literally being just a woman, women aren't going to get any better. And that's not the woman's fault. Women if men don't give women a reason to get better, then that's not their fault. They're going to take what we give them. They're not going to work for something they're already getting for free.
Facts. And you know, honestly, we did an episode on this on the last episode, guys, on Cardi B and Offset. And basically, you know, we talked about this, how Cardi B is an example of what you don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because she made a song, oh, WAP, all I got to, you know, I don't cook and clean, but I still got a ring. And, right. You know, that's cool. You know, she's a multimillionaire rapper, whatever it may be. And she's talking about this, but she couldn't even keep a guy around and he was cheating on her, whatever. And the thing, I think what women got to understand nowadays is that high value guys you're gonna need to bring more to the table simply than just, you know, fornication. I hate to say it like that, but that's just the way it is. Because if all you bring to the table is sex, you should be really concerned as a female. You know what I mean? And that's just the unfortunate reality. You know, so
yeah, I think what a lot of people should know. Listen, if you're already in this sector of the web, if you watch this content, you're already one step ahead. What we're trying to do is help you to keep that advantage. Deron Harris, new member, I appreciate that. The Marfuki man, welcome, with the $10 super chat, says, of course she came back. Just as a dog returns to its vomit. We will talk more about this here in just a second. And by the way, the Marfuki man is building a custom coffee table for Studio B. It is going to be absolutely gorgeous. I can't even do it. Listen, I would love to describe to you what it looks like, but I can't. I can only show you when it gets here. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that. C-Dub with the $5 super chat says, just as men who pay for spicy female performers are forever customers, spicy female performers are forever defined and stuck with that hashtag weights and dates. That's what Joker calls them. He calls them spicy workers.
I like that.
I do like that too, because that keeps it YouTube friendly for the most part.
For sure.
I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it that way, but we'll see what happens. So real quick before we go to the first topic here, and we're just going to quickly cover this because I think this is very funny. What are your thoughts about women who are spicy workers and the stigma that comes with that? We're going to talk more about this later, but I want to get your initial thoughts on this.
That's an excellent question, man. I think here's the thing, because I've dated girls that, you know, were former dancers, OnlyFans girls, whatever it may be. And, you know, I don't have a problem with them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, do your thing, make your money, whatever it is. I'm currently seeing a girl right now that makes 10K a month off her. Well, actually more than that, like maybe 10 to 15K a month off of her platforms. And, you know, the thing is this, nothing wrong with doing that, but understand that there's going to be long-term consequences to that, you know. Yep. And what are the consequences? More than likely, guys aren't going to take you seriously from a commitment standpoint. And as long as you can understand that and accept that, cool. You know, my thing is you just got to know what you're getting yourself into, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit more detail. But I don't have a problem with them. I'm not going to be one of these guys like sitting here on some TradCon stuff like, oh, you're terrible. You know, because at the end of the day, to be honest, what it is. This deregulated marketplace is great for guys like me that are out here playing the game. But like, right. You know, it's not so good for women that are looking for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. And by the way, guys, stay tuned. We got a special guest that we're going to bring on towards the end of the show.
Yes.
Me and Donovan.
And listen, this special guest has intimate knowledge about Mia Khalifa. He is a former male spicy movie star. There you go.
There you go.
And if you're thinking, wait a minute, is he a? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Before we get into today's topic, I got sent this Reddit post. Devin always sends me these Reddit posts, and this particular Reddit thread is AITA, which means am I the a-hole? So what these are is these people have certain situations that they're dealing with, and their question always is, am I the a-hole? So tell me what you guys think about this. It says, quote, so a week or so ago, my girlfriend mentioned that she was approached on campus about doing a, quote, free photo shoot. It sounded sketch as hell, as it was, number one, at a frat house. Number two, no website, email, just a phone number. Number three, the, quote, flyer was just a piece of paper. I told her as much, and she was in agreement, or so I thought. Turns out she texted the number off the flyer and asked if they were legit, and they said yes. So she goes and does the shoot, which involved a few outfits: casual, bathing suit, some underwear, lingerie, and nude. She tells me all this after She does the shoot, where I also find out it was basically in the living room of one of the local frats. There were like 4 dudes taking photos with iPhones. Quote, but that's okay because they're so advanced now, end quote. And she said she was invited to come back next week because I did such a great job. She was super excited about it. That's when I exploded, yelled at her. She got upset, called me an a-hole, said they were, quote, very professional and I'm jealous of her talent. I admit, he continues, I admit to kind of being mean, but am I the a-hole? I mean, come on. He says, this is ridiculous. For context, she was homeschooled prior to college and is very naive. Holy cannoli. Listen, I'm going to lead off on this one first, and I'm not really going to take too long. Please. In my ebook, my free ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship, which you can get at donovansharpe.com/newsletter. One of the 16 ways to immediately disqualify her for a long-time relationship is that she was raised in a strict Christian home. This also includes being homeschooled. Girls who are homeschooled, go to Catholic school, are not in the public school system, are very, very naive. Okay. This naivety is never a good thing. Only, of course, if they go to college. Listen, if a girl is naive, if a girl gets homeschooled and she lives with mom and dad until she meets a guy worthy of her commitment, assuming she's she's a virginal girl, she's always been at home, basically an Amish girl, never had sex, never been on a date, whatever the case may be, guess what? She can command that respect. She can command the high value guys, provided, of course, she lives at home. You turn one of these girls loose on a college campus and she goes to a photo shoot at a frat house where everyone's taking photos. Myron, she got a train ran on her. And here's the thing. She knew that this wasn't a legit photo shoot. She knew exactly what these dudes wanted her to go and do. She pretended that it was a photo shoot to appease her boyfriend. But as he said, she only told him afterwards that there were nudes involved and they were so excited they wanted to come back. So my opinion is this. She knew that this wasn't really a photo shoot. I think she went to get pounded out. I think she went and got a train ran on her. And the only way she can justify doing it again is to tell her boyfriend, hey, it was a photo shoot. Nothing really happened. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, we did a... So guys, for those of you that don't know, I do a podcast on Thursdays with my boy Fresh Prince CEO every Thursday. And 2 weeks ago, we did an episode, 10 Signs She Belongs to the Streets, right? AKA
She belongs to the streets.
Yes, sir.
We did 10 of them. And actually one of them was she is a church girl. You know what I mean? And the thing you guys got to understand is that women that are raised in very strict households, when they do get to go to college and they, get that freedom, they're going to go nuts, man. It happens all the time. It is what it is. Does this mean that automatically she's going to be a terrible person that you don't want to align yourself in a romantic manner? No, but you know what? The chances are very high that she's going to have some extracurricular activities at school. You know what I mean? And the other thing is this too, guys. For those of you that don't know, that never went to college in the United States, college in the United States is pretty much an acceptable way to spend 4 years doing drugs, having a lot of sex, and doing other degenerate activities.
And paying to do it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And paying to do it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. When people say, I want that college experience, what it really means is, oh, I'm going to go party and do a bunch of like BS. You know what I'm saying? Like what they don't talk about is how many students that fail out from drug addiction, from alcohol, becoming alcoholics, whatever it may be. They just, show the cool side of college. And I can speak to this because I went to a 4-year university. I was a Division I athlete though. So it kind of kept me away from that BS. But obviously my peers, I would see them showing up drunk every single day to the dining hall at, 1 in the afternoon. And I would know, okay, this is what it is. So just understand that that's what college is in the United States typically. That's why so many people pay and put themselves in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to get that college experience. And nowadays, let's keep it real, guys. About 60% of college attendees nowadays are female. Right. And, fraternities, sororities, there's an unspoken rule between the two, especially like frats and sororities that like partner together where they basically hook up with each other. That's what it is. It's just a sex fest between the two factions. So knowing these things, guys, if your girl ends up in a situation like this, it's bad, and honestly, I don't suggest any guy get into any type of real long-term relationship while in college, especially with a girl, because when girls go to college, man, they're truly looking to just have fun. So this guy right here, him saying, am I the butthole in this one for thinking this way? it's funny because it's his hard wiring is like running wild. Like, hey, dude, your chick is doing this crazy stuff. You should not be committing to her, because guys like have like an innate sense. You know, shout out to Roland. He talks about this all the time. We're hardwired to look for like promiscuity and any type of adultery in our women, because what does it do? It doesn't ensure paternity, right? Just
right.
Shout out to give him credit for that. But this guy, he has it going, but guess what? Social constructs are shaming him for thinking that way. Oh, right. I'm a jerk for thinking this way. Is it wrong for me to think this way? And my thing is this: no, you're not a jerk for thinking that way. That's why it's important for guys to not commit to women until they fully understand what they're getting into and know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's all my take on it.
Unbelievable, man. Yeah, that I think was obvious. Listen, to guys like us, it's obvious. And it's just like you said, the world encourages men to tamp down our natural instinct. Yeah. The reason why men, and we don't know this, right? Like this all happens in our subconscious. The reason why we don't like to commit to promiscuous women is to ensure paternity, right? But that's not the way we see or view it. We just don't want to get pounded out by other guys. But our hard drive wants us to ensure paternity. That presents itself with jealousy and, whoa, wait, I got to stay away from her, I guess, for the long term, because she's gonna start getting it on with other guys. So I think that's a very good definition. Skyfall with the 10 Canadian dollars says, we need a 0 days without incident sign for the swears. That's actually very, very cool. Uber Colt says, if she told him voluntarily, she didn't tell him the whole story to control the narrative.
Facts.
Yeah. This was so obviously anyway. So the answer is he the a-hole? No. But your girl is most definitely a hoe. And my guess is that she probably didn't tell her mom and dad back at home. Otherwise, they'd probably drag her ass back.
And I'll say this real quick, guys. Like, you got to understand, like, when me and Donovan tell you guys, like, you got to get out there and date more girls. I know Donovan says the 35 rule, right? 35 years old, 35 women, and at least earning 30.
You have to be at least 35 years old and have slept with at least 35 women before you start thinking about a long-term relationship. Yeah,
I'm going to say 35 years old. I agree 1,000%. I'm going to say 50 women because the thing is, guys, is that, you know, quite frankly, women nowadays, and they've done studies on this, are having more sexual partners than men are nowadays. You take a 21-year-old female versus 21-year-old male.
It's not close. It's not close.
It's this, they're destroying men when it comes to sexual partners, which is fine. I don't care. Like, for me, like I said, a deregulated marketplace is great for me. However, for you guys out there that are looking for a serious girlfriend, whatever it may be, you need to go in with your eyes wide open and understand what you're getting yourself into. And the way that you figure this out, so that you don't get, as I always say, women are purity dealers like this guy getting bamboozled, right? Because he doesn't know better, clearly, because he doesn't know his instinct is telling him one thing, but then social construct is telling him one thing, trying to shame him for thinking what he's naturally thinking, like, oh my God, my girl's like definitely out here banging other guys. But he doesn't want to, it's like telling him, oh, it's wrong for you to think that way. So the thing is, you guys got to sharpen your skills, get out there, because here's the problem. When you commit to a girl that you think is sugar and spice and everything nice, and then you find out some type of unflattering reality, she cheated on you, whatever it may be, you're going to go crazy when you find out. And then, God forbid, you put your hands on her, you do something to her, you hurt her, you kill her, whatever it may be. Like your boy, like we talked about last week, OJ Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is why it's important to arm yourself with this knowledge, so that you know how to discern a woman that's worthy of a relationship versus one that's not. Because if you pick the wrong girl and you commit to her and she does this to you because you didn't see it coming, you're going to go nuts. And guess what? You might lose your freedom in the process, man, because this thing has long-term consequences if you don't know what you're doing. Or worse yet, you hurt yourself, right? And, you know, you end things just because you couldn't deal with the reality. So that's all I want to add there.
Listen, the OJ situation was different. OJ Simpson was not a simp. People say OJ Simpson was a simp. He killed his ex-wife because of... No. OJ Simpson was 100% an alpha male. But what you have to understand is that the reason why OJ allegedly killed Nicole is because a man equal or greater in value had sex with her. OJ used to watch Nicole have sex with other men. He used to watch it. Guess what? Didn't bother him one bit. You want to know why? Because he's OJ freaking Simpson. He's a legend in football. Only when he found out that she may or may not have had sex with Marcus Allen, and let's not get it twisted, Marcus Allen absolutely smashed Nicole Brown.
Well, fact.
That is what allegedly sent OJ over the edge. You can call it simp, you can call it whatever you want to, but as a man, you feel a certain ownership when it comes to women. No, you do not own her, but in your mind, you do. This is why men go crazy when their women cheat. because they just it's not even an ego thing. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain. But when a man cheats on a woman, she's thinking, okay, does she love him, number one, or does he love her, number one, and number two, is he using protection? Because if he's not using protection, that could affect my bottom line. I'm not saying that it doesn't hurt them on an emotional level, but with men, it destroys us because another man was inside of my woman willingly.
And God forbid you had kids with her.
Oh my dude, don't even get me started. So a lot of guys out here, OJ is a simp. No, OJ Simpson was absolutely positively an alpha male. I wrote about it on Return of Kings back in 2016 when the OJ Made in America documentary was
documentary.
Right. But now, all that said, Myron, you're absolutely right. OJ Simpson notwithstanding, this is why a lot of men do bad things to their wives because and they don't understand. Now, they just don't understand the dynamics. How in the world could she do this to me? They go crazy, they do something stupid, and then they end there. And then a lot of times they end the wife and then they end themselves. So that's how that goes.
And this is the beauty of like because me and Donovan, obviously we agree on some things and disagree. I will just I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree that I think that OJ, when he killed Nicole, that made to me that allegedly. Sorry, my bad. Allegedly, he was acquitted. Shout out to Cochran. But I think him doing that, anytime a man commits that kind of violence and do whatever, I look at it as simp behavior. But this is the beauty of not having an echo chamber, guys. And yes, you can disagree with your friends and colleagues. You know what I'm saying, guys?
And not hate each other. Not hate each other.
Exactly. Okay. It's possible, gentlemen. As you guys
OJ, love it. C. Pogson with a $5 super chat says, as a former high school teacher, many of my female 12th graders went off to college and months later came back with the 1000C stare. Great topic. I love how our super chatters are keeping it YouTube friendly. I love it.
A friend here. He's actually going to be helping us on our show. And when you come to our show, do our show, Donovan, he's going to be behind the scenes helping stuff out. So he's
cool. Very good. Awesome. Look forward to seeing him. Liberty Prime with the $20 super chat says, I'm going to be getting out of the Marine Corps next year at 23 years old. You can bet you're behind. I'm going to be living that college life. I'll try and get some work done too. Very good.
Nice.
That YouTube friendly. So let us get to the topic at hand. Mia Khalifa, former spicy adult film star, now has an OnlyFans page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this. There are 100 articles about this. This one is from Barstool Sports, and you can see that Mia Khalifa has 21 million followers on Instagram. I'm just going to read through this article, and we'll get our opening thoughts here. So it says, quote, ex-spicy movie star Mia Khalifa is the latest celebrity to join OnlyFans, but fans shouldn't expect to see nude content on her page. The 27-year-old social media star, like that's a thing now. Revealed the news via Instagram with a photo that showed Khalifa enjoying a box of sushi and her new laptop in the background displaying her OnlyFans page. I have a full-time job, she says, as an accountant, she wrote in the caption. For $11.99 a month, her subscribers will get exclusive access to her content. But while OnlyFans has become popular for its adult stars and content, Khalifa is not planning on sharing explicit photos and videos on the site. SFW, suitable for work content, kinda. Khalifa's OnlyFans bio reads. It says, here is the only correct take about this OnlyFans. Good for her for making it. This is the future. Mia currently has 21.7 million followers on Instagram. If even half of 1% of those paid for 1 month of OnlyFans, she's looking at making $1,300,915 in 1 month for half of 1% of her Instagram following. So that's the future. IG models realizing they don't even have to pose nude or do spicy movies or anything like that on OnlyFans. Let me stop that right there. The only reason why Mia Khalifa has 21 million followers on Instagram is not because she's an Instagram model. It's because she used to be a spicy filmmaker. So again, you see how they're twisting the narrative? Well, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. But Mia Khalifa did it, and that's why she had the following. They can take the same pics that would go on Instagram, put them behind a paywall, and rake in so much effing money. And it's sick because, as I just showed you, you only need a tiny, tiny fraction of your fan base to follow you. Again, this guy is being disingenuous. Mia Khalifa has this following because she was a P star. Like, let's not. And again, I don't like how this guy is characterizing Mia Khalifa as no, Mia Khalifa is not an Instagram model. She's not an Instagram model. She's the typical 20-something who got a boob job and got butt fucked on camera for money. That's what happened. Like, there's nothing heroic or no, nothing brave about what she did. And listen, man, do you, right? Like, I'm not mad at you, but let's not change the narrative. Once a P star, always a P star. Mia Khalifa is always going to be known as a P star. Her name is, after all, Mia Khalifa, which isn't her real name. That is her P star name.
Exactly. And she used to be affiliated with Barstool Sports. So I'm not surprised that they think that we're writing this article, you know what I'm saying, spinning it in a way that makes her look a little bit less, like
a P star.
Yeah, exactly. Less of a P star. So I'm not surprised they're writing it this way. Hilarious. This
is funny. Reform Man 75 says some sucker or guy will eventually wipe her up. My friend, that has already happened.
Yes,
she is already. I think she's engaged. Who's she engaged?
Yeah, she's engaged to a dude. It's a Swedish chef. What's his name?
Hang on a second. I'm gonna look this up. Mia Khalifa, fiance. All right, let's see. Yes, Chief. Jesus Christ, Chief
Robert
Sandberg. So yes, Mia Khalifa postpones wedding with Robert Sandberg due to. Okay, well, anyway, that's her. That's her guy, Robert Sandberg. He is a Swedish chef. I think he's worth about $500,000. And but the interesting thing here, Myron, is that when she got with this guy, right? Remember, she told us all that she was done with the P industry. She was done with the spicy work. Yet she's going back to OnlyFans, and it's going to be safe for work. Well, kinda. Listen, dude, we're going to see PTA, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure. She's going to go back. Right? It's going to start with fully clothed, and then it's going to go to bra. Then it's eventually going to start being not safe for work because there's too much money. She made her money doing this. There's no way that you can regress. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how she's famous. You know, and we could talk about how much money she made and how much that's kind of not true as well. But this guy, I estimate that this marriage is going to last less than 2 years.
Oh yeah, dude, this is doomed to fail. I'm not. There's no need to even talk about that. So real quick, Weiss Bowski, $1.99 says members button. Where can I find it? It's right there on my front page, man. Go to YouTube/C/Donovan Sharpe, and you should see it right there. Sir Pumpington of Dumpenshire. Swear to God.
These names, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for being a member, Sir Pumpington Shire. Myron, your initial thoughts on Mia Khalifa coming back, not necessarily back, but Mia Khalifa going to OnlyFans. What are your initial thoughts on this?
I mean, you know, it was a bag move, you know, make some money. Obviously, this woman is already worth a few million, and going back to a platform that explicitly pretty much promotes how do I say this? Entrepreneur actresses, as we'll say, to keep
topless entrepreneur.
Yeah, topless entrepreneurs. You know, it was basically a foregone conclusion that she would come on this platform, and it's kind of like an FU to, you know, the Bang Bros and the other companies that she used to work for back in the day, who, you know, have pretty much put out articles pretty much exposing her, how much, you know, that she actually had some kind of rights on her videos. She was actually directing. She actually was one of the few actresses, P stars, that had some kind of input on her creative content and how it would be directed, how it would be shot. So for her to sit there and say, oh no, you know, I was exploited, whatever, when she actually had like maneuverability in how her content was shot and distributed, is, you know, obviously shows that she's not being 100% forthcoming. But, you know, I knew this was going to eventually happen at some point. I think it's going to be a matter of time until she starts putting out content that's going to actually not be safe for work, because the people are going to demand it, you know?
That's all right. Listen, it's only, and she can lie to herself, but she can't lie to us. Yep. She can say, and she already started to hedge. Because she said, hang on. She said it's going to be safe. It's going to be suitable for work, kinda. Right? And that last word, kinda, lets us know that she's probably going to show us maybe some nipple, right?
Yeah, man.
And maybe she's going to go down south, and pretty soon it's going to be full on thumping with the brothers. Like, that's what's going to happen at some point. if you, and by the way, John Sanez from Bulldog Mindset with the $20 super chat.
John,
is this how I get access to the OnlyFans? No. I appreciate that. Very good. Very, very good. I appreciate that, John.
John from Bulldog Mindset, man.
The Modern World with the $1 Canadian. Appreciate that. So here's the thing. Here's what I want to ask you, Myron, because this is really, really weird. So when she got with this chef, she had, I think it was like 6 months after she renounced the spicy movie industry.
Yeah.
That's not my life anymore. That doesn't define me. I'm going to become an accountant. Dude, Mia Khalifa can't spell accountant. Listen, man, like it's okay. Listen, man, it's okay that you're dumb and hot. It's not a crime to be dumb and hot, but dude, and listen, man, I've dated, I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but dude, one thing I cannot stand about super hot girls is how they are always trying to prove to you that they're not as dumb as a box of rocks. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I dated this one girl, her name was Dana. And she used to always, and I used to catch her doing it too, right? She used to be sitting there on her phone looking something up, whatever. And she would tell me, did you know that Jupiter has 16 moons? 16 moons? I would never appease her. I'd be like, Dana, come on, like, stop it. Stop what? Stop trying to convince me that you're not a dumbass. I would straight up say that to her. Oh my God, I can't believe you. And I would just turn up the music. She'd call me an a-hole and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I said, stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. Hot girls are always trying to prove that they're not stupid. Dude, who is Mia Khalifa an accountant for? A kindergarten teacher? Like, dude, and again, man, like, it's okay that you made money doing adult flicks, but we're not going to have more respect for you because, oh, well, Mia Khalifa became an accountant. Well, good for her. I guess that label of P-star is just going to shed right off of her. No, you're still a P-star. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, she's all she's doing, man. Like, oh, I'm not going to put out any type of, not safe for work content.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I'm saying, like, it's just like, you gotta. The thing is that she's trying to renounce what made her rich in the first place, and what got her popular. Like, no matter what she does, and this is for all 5 women watching this live stream right now. Mia Khalifa is 3 or 2. And one of them probably hates you. It's one of those chicks that like.
Oh my God, dude! Joy Isabel. Who's the other one? Lisa Faye. Yeah, Helena. Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
One of them, and then Obsidian as well. I count him as a female.
So he said that Obsidian. I didn't. Don't make another 5-hour stream about me, fam.
So but yeah, all jokes aside, like, this is, guys, for the ladies out there that might be watching, this is a reminder that there's consequences to when you do things. Fast money, fast popularity, whatever it may be. Yes. Typically, the way you got there is it's going to hurt you in the long run. Typically, something that you get very quickly is going to be done through means that isn't respectable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And
yeah, right now is an example of what happens. She's literally like a perfect example of the internet never forgets. You know what I'm saying? So when you put things up of yourself, spicy things especially, that might not be as good 5 years from now, whatever it may be, you're going to have to deal with the consequences and backlash from that. And what she's trying to do is rewrite the past that made her wealthy in the first place.
Listen, man, and give me a minute on this, because what you just said in that little soliloquy is the problem. And stay with me here, because I want to make sure I bring this point around. If you make money selling partial or full nudity, you are a sex worker. You're a spicy worker. If you make money using your sexuality, you are a sex worker. You do not have to have sex to be a sex worker. Myron, let's start from the top down.
Absolutely.
If you are a P-star, you're a sex worker. Fact. Prostitute, sex worker. Stripper, sex worker.
Facts.
Cocktail waitresses, which are literally strippers in training, sex workers. Dubai porta potty girls, sex workers.
Facts.
Call girls are sex workers, right? Escorts are sex workers. Cam girls, Instagram models, OnlyFans girls. Myron, girls want all of the benefits of working as a sex worker without the stigma that's attached to it. Can't have it both ways. Yep. The reason most 9s and 10s are sex workers is because of the early high return on investment, just like you said.
Yes.
Sex workers, spicy workers, make a lot of money very quickly. And if they take care of themselves and make good decisions, and most of them don't, but if they do that, they can be spicy workers for quite a while and make a boatload of money. And dude, listen, I've known escorts in Vegas who pass down their client lists, their client catalogs, their client books to younger escorts when they retire, right? Retired escorts, Myron, set for life. 2 homes paid for, 2-3 cars fully paid for. They've got a boat, timeshare, 401k, 7 figures in the bank, set for life. But because of the early high return on investment, the cost, Myron, is very steep. And this comes around to exactly what you said. Anything that pays you big money very quickly comes at a price, right? Drug dealers, they risk losing their freedom and sometimes their lives, right? A hitman, a contract killer, risks his life every time he takes a contract. Maybe the mark finds out and puts a hit on him. Maybe his employer does. High risk. Dirty cops make big money in short periods of time. They take money from drug dealers. They take bribes from city council members, bribes from organized crime bosses. They risk not only their lives, but the lives of their friends and family. They risk losing their jobs. They risk being indicted and all that stuff. Guys who do Ponzi schemes, big money up front, big risk. Weapons dealers, all of the things that people do that make a lot of money very quickly always comes with an assumed risk. And those who participate in this, Myron, know what they're getting into. The dirty cop understands that by taking money from organized crime bosses, risks his job, his family, his freedom, and his life. Drug dealers understand that they're risking their lives and freedom. And when and if their chickens ever come home to roost, they don't bitch and moan, talk about, it's not fair I got indicted, right? Like, when's the last time you heard a drug dealer, it's not fair that my brother got shot and killed by a rival cartel? Bernie Madoff didn't say, it's not fair that I'm in prison for the rest of my natural-born life. None of them do. They all understood the risk involved with making a lot of money very quickly, and they live with the choices they made. I'll even go as far as to say this, Myron. A lot of these people who get caught would probably do it all over again if they had a chance to. But the one group of people, Myron, who moan and groan about the price they pay on the back end for making a lot of money very quickly are female sex workers. Brie Olson whined and cried about not getting hired anywhere after she retired from being a P-star. Well, of course not. Everybody knows what every inch of your body looks like inside and outside. Her and other retired female P-stars all sing that same tired tune. But they sure cashed those checks, though, didn't they, Myron? They sure spent that money, right? Women want all of the benefits without any of the costs. They want the hot boyfriend without him cheating or hitting on their friends or other women flirting with him. They want the corner office with all the power without any of the responsibility. They want to be the hot girl without hitting the gym and watching their diets. Girls always want the payoff without having to pay the price. And that is exactly where female spicy workers get no sympathy from me. Because what they need to understand is that all the money you make selling your body, sexually or otherwise, comes at a cost. This ain't free, ladies. And that cost, among other things, is the stigma. Let me back up, Myron. I'm not knocking the hustle. Listen, man, if you're a good-looking girl and you want to be a stripper, baby girl, do you. Go get that money. I'm not mad at you. If you want to sell your ass on the side, getting pounded out in the champagne room, which I may or may not have witnessed in a few Vegas strip clubs for a few extra $100, more power to you. If you want to show TNA on OnlyFans and make a fortune doing it, you're getting no shade from me. Hell, if I could show dick pics and make $100,000 a month, I'd do that same thing. Right?
Doing it. Like, yeah.
Right. But the price you pay as a sex worker is the stigma. Neither men or women respect sex workers. They don't want to hire them. They don't want to be around them. They don't want to marry them or date them, at least not high value men. So ladies, if you want to sell your souls for money, nobody's stopping you. It's not illegal in most cases, and it's a great living. But stop bitching and complaining when the bill comes due. You cannot expect respect if you are or ever were a sex worker, and that's all there is to it. If you cash those checks, you have no right to bitch about the way people treat you in public when and if they find out if you're a sex worker. That is a deal you made with the devil, and the devil always collects. Your thoughts,
man. Yeah. Like, guys, remember this. Fast money, fast embarrassment.
That's right.
If you're in the sex trade, man. That's just what's going to happen. And here, let me touch on something else that you mentioned too about people not wanting to hire former sex workers. You want to know who's going to be the first one to not want to hire you? Other women. And I'm going to tell you why. Other women that become successful, that go to school, you know, work their butts off, right? And get the money, right? They compete against men and they rise the ranks to CEO status, whatever it may be, head of HR, whatever it is. The last people that they want to deal with are hot bimbos that took it the easy way.
Yep.
Because those women worked hard and got where they want to go through education, perseverance, time, competing with men in a cutthroat world. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't go the sex worker route. Now, with that said, we're not here to shame sex workers, man. But like we always say, there's consequences to everything you do. You know what I'm saying? Whether positive or negative. So other women are going to be less reluctant to hire you. I would argue more than men, because male bosses are going to be like, all right, we need an equal work environment. She's hot. Okay, we'll do it. Whatever. I'll take her to the secretary.
Hey, listen, listen, we got male clients. Hey, and you tell her, hey, check this out, Tracy. Flirt with these guys.
Yep.
Dude, flirt with them. Flash your dude, flirt with them, touch them, do whatever you got to do. We got to make this deal. Listen, shake what your mama gave you, man.
Yep. But a female boss, she's gonna have zero tolerance for that. Zero. She went through the ranks to get there, and last thing she wants is a hot girl that took the easy way out. You know, because that's how
all the attention from the guys.
Exactly. That's how other women look at it. Women that are super successful, they look down on former sex workers. Guys don't care. Well, whatever. You're hot. Okay, whatever. Other women though that worked hard to get there, they're gonna be like, nope, we don't want to do with you. So.
Listen, it's not even other women that worked hard to get there. Women, period. Yeah. Even the secretary doesn't want Mia Khalifa in her office. The secretary doesn't want Brie Olson in her office, right? Because not only, dude, women just can't stand other women who are hotter than them. They can't stand them. They really can't.
And especially that on it, especially if they monetize.
Dude, oh my God, right? It's like she's getting paid on both ends.
Yep.
They're saying to them, listen, you got paid on the front end, right? You already made your money, but now you want to no, you blew your money. You got to pay the price for that. Mr. Pirate Brain with the $2 super chat says, fire as usual. Thanks for the content.
Thank you.
James Young says, Mia is right. She'll be, quote, accounting money from OnlyFans. Very, very true. Very true. The Modern World with the $5 Canadian says, wait, she's a social media star who posts regular content, but it's safe to assume her transition rate on OnlyFans will be 50%. I don't think it's going to be 50%, but if it's 1/2 of 1%, she's making almost $1.5 million a month, man. And dude, if I could do the same thing, you kidding me, dude? If I could show my scrotum, if I could sell naked pics on camera, make $1 million a month, dude, where do I sign up? Real talk, man.
I tell chicks that I deal with that like work at, whether they're dancers, OnlyFans. I tell them, man, if I was a girl, I'd be a millionaire by now. You're
yeah.
I tell them straight up, like you guys are slacking. Like,
y'all are doing it wrong, man. You need to hit the gas pedal. Yo, invest 401k. Bitch, you'll be retired by 28 years old.
I'll clown them. They'll buy like new Louis bags or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're dumb.
Check this out. Check this out. Check this out, Myron. Check this out. I should start a consulting firm. Here's what I would do.
Facts.
If there was ever a super hot young girl who's like, listen, I'm 18 years old. I want to make all the money I can. Then I want to retire, but I don't want the stigma attached to it. Here's what I tell them to do. Check this out. Never do porn, only do OnlyFans. You do that do that until you're 25 years old. Then you change coasts, okay? Dude, erase all your social media, erase everything. Get a legal name change. If you live in Florida, move to California. If you lived in California, move to New York City. Dude, you'll be a millionaire by the age of 25. You can completely remake yourself, lock down a high-value guy. He's none the wiser. But what do these girls do? They go out and buy clothes and drugs and all this other kind of stuff. Then when they turn 28 and everything starts to sag, oh, what happened? Where have all the good men gone? It's not fair that nobody wants to hire me. No, sweetie, you did that to yourself.
Free game, dude. And you know what? For all 5 women in here that are watching that might want to get into this trade, I agree 1,000%. This is what you guys got to understand, ladies. Men, you sell them the purity, right? And you give them that attention. This is why OnlyFans cam girls are the best way to go by far. You don't want to get on camera and actually have sex with other men. That's going to destroy your value.
Oh, good God.
You need to sell the illusion that you could. You know what I'm saying? Because when I did a couple OnlyFans girls, and I told them straight up, hey, take anything on there that's like a P word where you're dealing with men out and start doing more teasing type videos. And all of them made more money just by doing that.
There you go.
You need to sell the purity, right? And then you also need to sell the exclusivity. You guys want to hear a little secret? Why do Twitch girls, OnlyFans chicks, the top earning cam girls, whatever it may be, they never put their man on any type of social media or in shot. And the reason for that is because they know men innately want some kind of exclusivity / purity with the woman. And if you can sell that as a woman to a guy, you're going to become filthy rich. And I actually talked one girl out. They were going to fly her out to California and do a scene where they were going to do I'll just say a G bang. And I told her, wait, don't do that, because they're going to use and abuse you, and you'll never be able to get another deal. And it's going to destroy your ability to sell anything on your own platform or OnlyFans. She listened to me and she made much more money. So guys, we're just giving free game right now for all the 5 girls watching. So that's all I got on that.
I'm tell you, man, listen, this is exactly how they do it in the P industry, right? And there's a strategy to it. Good looking girl, 22, 23 years old. She starts off doing girl on girl. That's all she does. Girl on girl. No penetration. Girl on girl toys. They'll do that for a good solid year, right? Then they start doing hetero scenes, right?
Yep.
The hetero scenes, only white guys. Only white guys on the hetero scenes.
Alexis Texas did that for a long time, and she was able to keep her image very high.
Dude, listen. There is a P star. Her name is Brandy Love. This woman, I think she's like 44 years old, right? She is still a P star, still fully hot. Now, obviously, she doesn't look anything like she used to, but guess what? She's absolutely bangable. She is absolutely bangable. No question. I don't know what she looks like now. Hold on. Well, all right, never mind. I don't want to shut down my YouTube channel. The point is this. She has been a P star since I was 18 years old. I knew better when I was 18. I'm 43. I'm sorry. I tell a lie. I was 21. I'm 43. 22 years later, Myron, she's still a P star, but guess what? You want to know something? The only scenes she does now are with black men. She waited until the end to do the BBC P star movies. If you start off doing BBC train bangs, that's it. You're going to burn yourself out quickly, but it's got to be a slow boil. You start off with girl on girl, then you move to white man hetero. That's where you spend most of your time. That's where you're going to make most of your money. When you start approaching the wall, then maybe you start doing girl guy, right? And even with the white hetero phase, every once in a while there's going to be a girl in there. When you start to hit the wall a little bit, when you start to see younger, hotter girls, that's when you move into the quote MILF category. When you move into the MILF category, at that point, now you maybe get some enhancements if you don't already. Then you can start doing 2-person choo-choo scenes, right? No black guys yet. You can do that for another 4 or 5 years. So now all of a sudden, you've been in the industry for 15 years. Now you're almost in your 40s, right? You're still fully hot, still fully bangable, but there are girls that are much younger and much hotter than you. What are you going to do to stay relevant and keep those fans? That's when you start doing the BBC. You can probably do that for 2-3 years at the most. Then you can retire with a boatload of money. Guess what, Myron? You can't start off with the BBC.
Yeah, no.
Dude, there are, and dude, I haven't looked at porn since I'm 37 years old.
Same.
Say again?
No, same. I gave it up as well. It's literally porn.
I can't. Yeah. I can't do it. The point is that if, as a young actress, if you do BBC choo-choo trains, that's all. You can't go back to girl on girl. Yeah. You can't do white man hetero. You've already maxed out, right? So if there's ever a young hot porn star, I said it. If there is ever a young hot P star or movie star, and you see that she's doing BBC choo-choo trains, understand she's not going to be in the industry for long, right? That's the only way girls can last long. That same strategy that Brandy Love used, that's what these OnlyFans girls need to do, man. Yeah. It needs to be a slow boil, and don't wait until you're in your 40s to retire. You can make into the millions in a matter of 2-3 years. Put all that aside, change coast, change your name, find a rich guy, get married. That's free game. That's free game right there.
And the last point here too, because when I dated these girls, the biggest advice I would tell them is, listen, once you go down the route of fornication, you're going to draw a certain crowd. That crowd is going to want to see more and more invasive things done to you over time. They don't get enough. So that's why, once you go down that path, it's going to be very difficult to get off of it, because these guys are going to pay you money, but they're going to expect more and more over time. So it's always better to start with the least invasive thing you can do, while you're selling some kind of purity so that you can stay in longer. So I agree 1,000%. That's free game right there for all 5 female viewers that might want to get into this industry.
Listen, Brandy Love is 47 years old. 47.
Wow.
Hold on. Today. I want to see what she looks like today. Hold on a second. What does she look like? Dude, she is still, listen, dude, she is still, like, don't get me wrong. She doesn't look like she used to when she was 27, but you want to know something, Myron? I would absolutely smash her without a doubt. She is still fully hot and smashable, right? She clearly made good choices with her body. She's clearly on human growth hormone. There's no way she looks like that without HGH. That, listen, not that I would ever endorse a woman being an adult film star, but if anyone's done it right, and somebody else mentioned Lisa Ann did it right. Brandy Love did it right. Most girls in this industry don't do it right because girls are dumb. That's that. Period.
They make mistakes.
Yeah, they make too many mistakes. Sir Pumpington of Dumpenshire with the $5 super chat says, late to the party, but it is a fact that college chicks always minor in zoology and gymnastics, gorilla grandstands, bonobo backflips, and macaques, very interesting animals, mingling. Very good. Jason Moreno, $5 says, difficult setting is to take the path of least resistance. The prettier they are, the faster the route is taken, especially the dumb ones. Red Sings the Blue, $5 says, there he is, Lisa Ann and Jade Fire. I've never heard of her, but I've heard of Lisa Ann. Retired from the biz and embraced it. What Mia did was crossing the line when it came to knowing the risk. Absolutely. Stuart Barton with the 10 Australian dollars says, I'm 39 years old, virgin, religious, and I want it every day, but I don't need it to be fulfilled. I'd rather deal with that than deal with the female drama every day. Haven't found a girl worth the squeeze yet. Oh, Stuart, why are you lying to us? Stuart, wait, hold on. Myron. Stuart, listen, man, love you to death. I appreciate the 10 Australian dollars. But dude, come on. Like, that's bullshit, right? Like, that's bullshit. Like, come on. You're a 39-year-old virgin because you're religious. But then on the back end told us that you haven't met a girl worth the squeeze yet. So which is it, Stuart? Is it because you're religious or you haven't met a girl worth the squeeze? Listen, man, it's okay to admit that I'm a 39-year-old virgin because I'm not good with women. But don't come onto my program telling you, well, I'm a virgin, but I haven't found a girl worth the squeeze yet, so I've decided to stay a virgin. You sound like one of those black pill guys. Myron, what are your thoughts? Am I wrong on this guy? Am I off?
I'm sorry to say it, man, but like, guys, you can't afford to be a virgin anymore. Like those days are done, guys. Like the days of you being able to get out there and, work and find a nice job and, be able to support a household on one income and you're, finding a girl that's a virgin, you guys get married. Like those days are done, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to understand that we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace now. Okay. So what that means is pretty much women have control of who procreates and who does not. It doesn't how it used to be before, because with feminism, women have been able to enter the workforce. Women out earn men a lot of the time. So making $30,000 a year and having a Kia Sophia is no longer hot to girls. Okay. Your insurance policy is no more like a stick that you can use to get laid. So as a man in 2020, you have to get out there and date a lot of women, because here's the thing, Stuart, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to understand how to deal with females now because you're so inexperienced. And what's going to happen is you're going to get that purity, right? She's going to sell it to you and you're going to buy it hook, line, sinker. Then you're going to walk down the aisle and not know the better, man. So you got to get out there and date women and literally get your notch count up. And we're not telling you guys this to, be a degenerate or whatever. It's that this is the only way that you're going to arm yourself with this knowledge. You can't just look at the theory, watch this kind of content and not apply it, man.
Stuart, stop lying. Listen, man, if you sent us a super chat and said, we've got Sterling Cooper. Sterling, I'm going to come to you in just a few minutes. I'm going to make sure we answer these super chats here. Stop lying, Stuart. Don't tell us you're a 39-year-old virgin because you choose to be. Get the hell out of here with that, man. Get out of here with that. Thanks for the super chat, but dude, don't come in here and try and bullshit us. Sir Pumpington of Dumpenshire says sugar babies, yum. No, sugar babies, yuck. What are we doing? Like, am I taking crazy pills? Sugar babies. Oh, wait a minute. Is he actually talking about the candy? Because sugar babies are good.
Candy.
I hope you're talking about the candy.
Troll account on the low. He's kind of like a troll account.
Really? Yeah. Well, listen, he's paying, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Counselor Murray with another $5 super chat. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Caliban 777 $5 says, it cools my jets to imagine floating above every hot babe's head's neon signs displaying their D count. Yeah, that would, listen, in a perfect world, that would be nice, but we'll never, ever know what a girl's notch count is. Whatever she tells you, multiply it by 757.
You don't even know.
Probably come close to the answer.
Don't ask, guys. You'll never find out, and you don't want to know anyway.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Even if she tells you 2 guys, it's still going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Name withheld, $5 super chat says 100%. I've been saying it for years. These females are selling their dignity, and they can never buy it back or erase their past. Deadly Ed Lee, $2 says, free at prime rib, something or other. All right. Prime rib, man. That sounds good, actually. Some prime rib. Jason O, $10 says, great message. I've seen this happen to girls I know, and it's sad to see. As soon as they jumped in off, they started smoking so much to dull the pain and never could save any money. I've talked about this before, and we're going to bring Sterling Cooper in here in just a little bit. I've talked about this before. And what this is, how can I put this? Girls who work in the sex trade do a lot of drugs just to deal with their lifestyle. That's how it is. They do this to deal with the lifestyle. They cannot stand it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in
guest
Sterling Cooper. Now, Sterling, someone actually corrected me in the chat. I thought that you were a retired adult film actor.
Oh no, I'm still very.
Oh, you're still okay. Very good. So I can so I could look you up on porn.com, whatever the popular websites are. Wow. Okay.
Like you don't know what they are, Donovan.
Yeah, I do. My God. Dude, I'm so old, man. I used to, one of my favorite websites was sublimedirectory.com. That was back in 1998. And I used to get excited as the page loads, just little by little. Oh my God, I can see her nipple. Listen, man, thank you for making time to come on to the show. So what is your insight as someone who is currently an adult film star? We're going to try to keep it clean for YouTube, but someone who is currently a male adult film star. What can you tell us about the business that maybe laymen, people who aren't in the business don't already know?
I mean, I didn't catch the beginning of this stream, obviously. So
no, that's okay.
Happen to go over something that you might have mentioned already, please let me know.
No, go ahead. You're good.
But with, this situation with Mia, for example, all the girls in porn hate her.
Really?
They absolutely.
Why do they hate Mia? This is interesting. Oh my goodness.
Insider stuff.
They hate her because she does this shit.
Oh my God.
Every 6 months. She's really, here's the thing. Mia Khalifa is really good at PR.
Of course.
Like every 6 months, she will appear in some kind of headline. And it's usually her talking about how much she regrets her career in the adult entertainment industry, despite the fact that she still uses her stage name.
There you go.
On all of her social media, everywhere, in every article that's written about her, she's using her stage name. Even though you can look up her real name, for pretty much all of us, you can find out if you just dig deep enough, you can find her real names. But all the girls hate her because she's very good at PR. She does this stuff every 6 months, and basically gets all the eyeballs on her, and their revenue streams start to dry up a little bit.
Okay, so revenue streams start to drop, but why? Because listen, I'm not a female in the business, but why is it that when Mia Khalifa talks about how much she regrets doing adult films, how does that hurt current female adult film actresses?
It's an attempt. It's a everyone is vying for the same eyeballs.
Okay,
right. You've got especially right now with OnlyFans, everyone is basically competing for the same pool of simps to subscribe to their OnlyFans. So, wow. I mean, what happened a few weeks ago, you might have heard this, Bella Thorne, the Disney actor.
Yes. $2 million or $1 million in a day?
Yeah, and she said in 24 hours. That really annoyed everyone in our industry. They hated her. Even she was the number one villain for a week. Now it's Mia again. But the irony with the Mia thing is, so for a start, she still uses her stage name. Second, she makes the claim that she only made $12,000.
Yeah, how true is that? Do you buy that?
So there's an element of truth to it, everything that a woman says.
Yes, of course.
So the typical rate for a new girl in the industry is about $1,000 a scene.
Okay.
And she actually didn't work that much. She was only in the industry for maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
And she was working in Miami. So I think initially I thought this was actually a pretty accurate number in terms of how much she made on her paid scenes. But
Okay.
I've since been corrected on that. I think because she shot a lot for a company called Bang Bros.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And she went out and, in the last during the quarantine lockdown, she sort of went out and said, "Oh, I only made $12,000 and I was exploited and blah 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 blah." Pardon me. And then Bang Bros released a statement basically just calling her a liar and proving she was a liar, like showing the invoices.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
And just shut it down her entire argument. But the thing is, most people don't see that. Like, most people aren't following Bang Bros' Twitter. So they're not going to see that. But us in the inside, like, are looking at this like, yeah, that sounds about right. If she'd only shot 12 scenes, then that would have been pretty accurate, but she's actually shot a bit more than that. So, but the thing is, I guarantee you she has monetized her clout.
Yes.
And she only has clout because she did pornography. Because she was like the most searched for, pornographic actress for a very, very long time. Primarily because she was I think she was the first. She had a scene that went pretty viral where she was wearing a
hijab.
I think it's a niqab. I think it might be the niqab because it doesn't show because her face is shown.
Okay.
Myron should be able to tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you guys this, man, because I'm Muslim. That pissed a lot of people off, man.
Yeah, she got her life threatened and everything, right?
Yeah, she got a lot of threats.
Hey, look, listen, right there, that's production right there. While Sterling was talking, I literally made an overlay specific for the show. That's what we're doing here at TSR Towers. That is the kind of production we want right there. Let me ask you something, Sterling, because, dude, I have never, I've talked to guys who are in the adult film industry, but not actors. I had a couple of friends that lived in Vegas who were the guys that did the STD checks every month. I don't know what those guys are called, but you know what I'm talking about. What has Sterling Cooper learned about women in the P industry that he didn't know before he entered the business? Here's another question. Here's a sub question. Does size matter? This is the very first time I have ever been on a panel where I wasn't 100% sure that I had the largest junk on the panel. I'm usually pretty confident, but now that Sterling Cooper is here, who is an adult film star, I'm feeling a little inadequate. So I'm glad I'm in the top box. But again, all jokes aside, what did you learn about women that you didn't already know when you entered as a result of being in the industry?
I guess so. Bit of disclaimer: before I got into pornography, I was actually an escort back in Australia. So I already was kind of in the adult industry. Okay,
the sex trade.
Yeah, like my friends were all escorts back in Melbourne, or strippers, or whatever. Sure. So I kind of did I was a little bit in the loop.
Okay.
The thing that really blew me away the most was how much these girls thrive and like it's almost like their lifeblood. They thrive on attention.
Wow.
And it's because you'll see they'll jump on like their Twitter feeds and their Instagram feeds and they'll post if their boyfriend dumps them or they're having a bad day, like their first instinct is to jump on social media, just like regular women, right? To try and get that attention, but it's sort of like ratcheted up to like 11 with porn girls. Because they'll post, not only will they, they'll post like I'm having such a bad day, who wants to be my new boyfriend, blah blah blah. They'll also a picture of their ass along with it.
What are these a lot of these girls have boyfriends and are married. What are their boyfriends and husbands like? How do they deal with the fact that their girlfriend or wife is getting pounded out on camera by guys like you? Do they care? What is that?
Their boyfriends and husbands don't care.
What, dude? Oh my god! Oh, no.
I actually had this conversation because I get girls on my show in the studio here with me, like porn girls, and we just chat about their life and about their creepy DMs and stuff they get and their boyfriends and what they're like.
Wow!
And I know some of these girls' boyfriends, and it's weird. You take a look at them, and you wouldn't think this guy is dating a porn star. You'd think he belongs at San Diego Comic-Con.
Wow.
And what I'm trying to, what I mean by that is like the typical dude who's like boyfriended up or partnered with a porn star is actually like a scrawny dude with like a scrawny white dude, scruffy beard, like glasses, looks a bit nerdy, like has some kind of skill set, maybe some kind of nerd, like he's a like photographer, video editor, like, you know, has some kind of skill set as well that can kind of complement and help her.
Of course.
Monetize.
That's what we call the alpha seed, beta need.
Exactly.
Wow. Unbelievable. So do they actually have sex with their boyfriends, or like, how does that work?
They have boyfriend sex.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, and I guess in our neck of the woods, we call that marriage sex, right? Yeah. Like there's the girlfriend experience. Like for guys like you, there's the porn star experience, and then there's the girlfriend experience.
Yeah, exactly.
On the outside world, there is the girlfriend sex, and then there's the wife sex. Wow.
Missionary and nothing else.
With the lights off.
Yeah.
With the lights off.
It's actually a pretty common, and a lot of porn stars will say this same thing. Both guys and girls will say, because it takes a lot out of, like, what we do on camera takes quite a lot out of us. It's quite like, it can be quite physically taxing to do the kind of performance that we do. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard not to use certain words on your channel.
I understand.
It's so taxing on us that when we have relations in our private life, it tends to be very lame.
Okay.
Because we've got you kind of get that perversion out of your system on camera.
Sure.
You know, and I when I was talking to some of these girls recently, interviewing them, I'm like, I came to sort of the realization, like, oh, it's pretty obvious what's going on. Like they get, like, you know, you talk about the alpha seed, beta need stuff. They're getting like the alpha seed in their day job. Like that part of that desire, they're getting it out of the system in their day job, so that when they come home from the boyfriend, it's like he's the guy who's like the nurturing, that cuddling her, massaging her, you know, taking her out to dinner, like the nurturing provider. And
then she gets the porn star sex from, well, porn stars.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm going to read some super chats. This is fascinating. Thanks for making the time for jumping on the show here with us, man.
You're welcome.
Jesse B with the $25 super chat says 100% accurate about needing to be able to offer more than just $30K and a Kia. Recently started my side woodworking business. Already got some commissions. Good for you. And I'm still working full time to buy my property. You guys are legends. Thank you for that. Stuart Barton with the 10 Australian dollars says, not lying, got game and confidence, but only, quote, intimacy and marriage. Only marry girls of my faith. Been worked on myself for 4 years, but Stuart. Listen, I love you, Stuart. I promise I'm trying to help you. Stop lying. You can't have game and confidence if you are a virgin. It doesn't work that way. Let me get your thoughts on this, Sterling. We're going to get this straight from the horse's mouth here. So this guy, only intimacy in marriage. Basically, this guy's a virgin. He is holding out for a virginal woman. Do you work with girls who look like they would never do? What kind of girls enter the business? Because a lot of times, don't they come from homeschool? I was at Catholic school. You know, I went to some sort of boarding school. What kind of girls enter the business?
To be honest, all kinds. But there's a big portion who were forced to go to a Catholic school or were raised Mormon.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Or Jewish, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's actually a lot of girls that end up becoming really successful at Jewish. Oddly enough.
Yeah, well, I think that's in all areas of life, not just even, dude. The Jewish people even rule the porn industry. Who knew? Yeah. Theo Waff with the $100 super chat says, Donovan, will you slap Stuart Barton? Yes, Stuart. Enough. Listen, if you're a 39-year-old virgin, I don't think you're any less of a man, dude. It's hard to get laid out here. I'm here to tell you. But if you can at least listen, I'm a 39-year-old virgin. I haven't really found my stride yet. How can I change that? You're not going to convince me that you are waiting for marriage. You're not going to find another virgin, Stuart. Like, there are far more virginal men than there are virginal women. And that's a fact. And I think you know that. You can't BS a BSer. Smith Paragon, $20 says, hey, Donovan, a lot of famous conservative officials still trying to sell marriage and say things like, I was my wife's only partner. Do you think they're lying, or are they ignorant to females' nature? Curious of you guys' thoughts. Sterling, what are your thoughts on that?
They're very ignorant.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Unbelievable. I was my wife's only partner, and they say that as though that's some sort of a badge of honor. like they are proud. I don't. The answer to this is probably no. But did you ever do a scene with Mia, or did you know dudes that have done scenes with her?
I know guys who've worked with her. Yeah.
Okay.
She was well before my time.
Oh, okay. All right. So now, how long have you been in the business?
I've been working as a porn star for 3.5 years.
Okay. All right. Do you make good money? Do you make money on the side? How does that work?
Yeah, I have like a multiple income streams. So
nice.
So
do you have an OnlyFans too? Do we need to push that?
I actually do, yes.
No shit.
You don't need to promote it though.
This is great. Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not safe for work. What do your parents think? This is fascinating. I've never talked to a male porn star before. What do your parents think of your life choices or whatever?
Well, unfortunately, my mother is deceased. So
okay. Well,
and she passed away before I got into the industry. My father, he actually let's see, I told him maybe 6 months after I got in.
Okay.
He was his initial reaction was like, "Oh damn, I failed as a father."
Oh no, Dad, you did not.
Then maybe 6 months later, it's like he didn't care. He's like because he knows I'm happy, I'm making good money, I'm safe. Like he's more concerned about me living in LA and getting shot than being a porn star at this point.
Cesspool out there. Does size matter, Sterling? Talk to my guy. Listen, talk to my guys out here. Talk to my guys out here who have very small manhoods. Does size matter? If it does, in what way?
Yeah, it does matter in the sense that there's actually some surveys done once called like the husband dick survey.
Oh my god!
Which basically plotted like girth and length on like a graph, and the women were given like dildos and they were rated.
Okay.
And what they found was there is a sweet spot which tends to hit all the right spots inside of a woman's vagina.
Okay.
So like we're talking like it puts pressure on the clitoris, it hits the G-spot, and things, right? And that size tends to fall into the range of like, in terms of length, like about like 8 inches in length, and girth wise like 6.5 to 7.
8 by 6. There it is. Right from the horse's mouth.
Girth tends to be the greater. It's funny and this is another thing I didn't really notice until I got into porn. Guys think of a big penis in terms of length. Yes. Girls think of it in terms of girth.
How about that? Okay, well, there we go.
That's a real big thing I noticed. Like when girls in my industry are talking about other dudes' penises, they're the ones that are describing as big are the thick ones, not necessarily because we have some dudes who have like long, thin ones,
right?
Which is helpful for being on camera because of course you can film stuff easier. But
right,
but they're typically a lot more like their eyes roll in the back of their head when it's a thicker one.
How about that? Wow. So girth is much more important than length.
And a certain length to hit like the right spot, but after a certain length, then like,
it starts to become a liability. Okay, listen up, boys and girls. Guess what? You heard it. You heard it here first. Girth is more important than length. And oh, by the way, you can increase the girth of your junk. Yes, there are ways to do that. Absolutely. Speaking of which, Sterling, do male adult film stars, I know we said the word probably about 70 times. I'm still trying to keep it clean here. Do you know guys in the business who are into penile enlargement? Do they enhance their, like, what do they do?
You're looking at one.
There you go. See that? And why do you do that?
So before I got into the industry, I was below average.
Okay.
So I was like under 6 inches in length, and like I can't remember. I've got the measurements written down because I actually tracked it.
Okay.
What
did you do to enlarge your penis to the point to where you now do adult films?
Right. Yeah, it took me about 8 months of consistent like daily work, effort, like every exercises like every day.
Okay.
To increase the girth and the length. But now I'm like 7 inches in length and like 6.5, probably 6 3/4 in girth. So it's like,
listen, let me stop you right there. 7.5 by 6, guys. Sterling Cooper doesn't have a 15-inch dick, gentlemen. That's what I'm trying. This is. I'm so glad that we're doing this right now because and don't get me wrong, I used to be there too. Every guy is concerned about the size of his junk because that's what is purported with the manhood.
The length,
but dude, right, exactly. But Sterling just sat here and told you, dude, I'm 7.5 by 6.5, and I do adult films. Bingo, guys. What were the exercises you did to increase girth and length?
So there's a few things. I talk about all of this in my ebook. As a matter of fact, I actually break down exactly like the.
No shit. Well, listen, I'm going to put the link in the chat if this gets monetized.
If it gets monetized. And well, the basic principle is like you have to expand like the tissue.
Yes.
Of the shaft.
Yes.
And it's kind of like it's not exactly the same as, you know, say like getting a bigger bicep, right?
Right.
But it's a similar kind of principle to what they do. I don't know if you've ever seen these. There's some tribes in Myanmar where the girls wear rings around their neck and they slowly elongate their neck over the course of their lifetime. It's a similar principle to that. And you're not putting rings on your dick.
Of course.
There are various devices and things you can use, and there's a few different exercises you can do as well, which actually all like help to either lengthen or expand the girth of the penile tissue over time. But it's not a thing. What pisses me off? Damn it, sorry.
Sure. Don't worry about it.
I'm such a potty mouth, so it's like.
Listen, dude, you're a porn star. You're not supposed to have a clean mouth, right? It's all good.
But what really annoys me all the time is you see all these ads on tube sites.
Yes,
which are like, here, take this magical African herb, and your Johnson will grow by like 7 inches. Like, oh, go to hell! Like, come on. There is no magic pill for anything in life. You've got to actually put the effort into it.
Yes,
and that's unfortunately what puts a lot of people off. Is that it actually takes a lot of consistent effort. So it's something I've done. I've got guys in my community who've they're seeing success already, and they've only been doing it for like a few months.
I'll tell you what, listen, I don't want to ask you any more questions about this because I want to put the link. Is your book on Amazon?
It is on Gumroad.
Okay. Oh, Gumroad. Okay. Yeah. And give me the Gumroad. And what's the book called?
Here, Donovan, I can do it, Donovan. That way you can keep running.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I don't want to give away all of your secrets, but the point is this, guys, is that you can increase both the girth and the length of your penis. I have used the Bathmate. I have used penis pumps. I have used the Phallisan Forte. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. I've heard of all this stuff. Yeah.
Yes, all of that stuff works, but the point is you have to do it consistently. Yep. A lot of guys start off doing this stuff and then they kind of leave it by the wayside. If you just do it consistently, you will grow. Dude, my junk was 5.5 inches back in 2011. That's when I bought my very first Bathmate. And I wasn't always consistent. But that was back in 2011. It is 2020. I'm 7 5/8 inches right now. And I think I'm like maybe 5.5 to like 6 in girth. That's a market improvement, right? And had I stayed consistent with it, who knows? I might be the guy on your show talking about me being a porn star instead of the other way around. The point is, like anything in life, gentlemen, the size of your dick, the size of your muscles, building a business, it takes consistency. And just like Myron says, when it comes to fitness, every diet works, but the most important thing is adherence.
Absolutely.
Let's get back to the topic at hand here. With
could you mind me up real quick so I can here? Just mind me up real fast, and then I'm going to put I'll handle Sterling stuff in the chat.
Oh, you want me to what now?
Mod me up on the chat.
Oh yeah. I got you. Just make sure you make a comment in the chat, and I'll mod you up here.
Okay,
Sterling. So what Mia Khalifa is doing, and just like you said, a lot of the working girls do not like her because she sort of gives them a bad name. What effect has it had on men in the industry? Do they not like her? Do they not care? Is she just a dumb bimbo who took a bunch of schlong? I mean, what do they think?
The dudes don't give a shit.
Right. Okay.
They don't care. The guys are just like the guys are all like me. They sit back and they just laugh at the whole drama. Like, it's so funny because all these girls will they're all like 90% of them are feminists.
Really?
90% of hardcore feminists.
Wow.
How at least they think they are.
Right. Of course.
Right. They think they don't. There's a percentage who are actively like preaching like feminist diatribe, and then there's the rest who are sort of like, if you asked them if they're a feminist, they'd say yes.
Right.
But then if you actually sat them down and questioned them on their values and like tried to and sort of, got a bit critical of it, they'd probably disagree on a lot of stuff.
Of course.
They're just following the tribe, right?
Yeah.
But the dudes don't care. It's like the ultimate irony is like there's actually a gender pay gap in our industry.
Yes, and you're on the short end of that. Am I wrong?
What was that?
And you're on the short end. Male porn stars don't make nearly as much as females.
Yeah, of course. But you don't see the thing is you don't see any of the guys like complaining about it.
Of course not. I'm not making as much as she is. I blew my load all over her face and she got paid more.
Oh, boo-hoo. But then you'll see the girl, like when someone like Mia does this, they'll complain that she's taking food out of their mouth.
Oh my God.
Out of like they'll use the phrase survival sex workers. They'll use that phrase quite a lot.
Dude, are you serious, dude?
Yeah.
How long does the average I could be wrong, but it appears to me that the average female porn star does not last in the business as long as male porn stars. Is that accurate or not?
Yeah, it's especially, it depends where they're working too.
Oh, really?
So what happens is in America, like the typical life, let's use the word not average, but like I think the correct mathematical term is median.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Where like if median is the one I'm remembering correctly from maths class, median is like the most frequent data point.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm using that phrase right. Like the median is probably 1 to 2 years.
Wow, that's not long.
For like working for mainstream adult companies.
Yeah.
In Europe, it's like 6 months.
Wow, why is the median half of in America?
They turn them out real quick in Europe. They go for, so the typical lifespan of like a female actress. There's certain acts that they won't do on camera for a certain period of time, right? So
listen, Sterling, we were just talking about this with regards to the BBC porn, the BBC gangbangs. That's the end all be all. You can't do anything after that. So is that what they do in Europe?
Yeah. So in Europe, they tend within their first month, they're doing butt stuff.
Wow.
And
early.
Within their second month, they're doing like 2 guys, 3 guys in the same hole.
Oh, that's it. There's nowhere to go from there, Sterling.
Exactly. And that's exactly the point. They're basically shot out is the term we would use. Everyone all the companies have shot them, and then they've done all the acts that everyone wants to see them do. And they cram it into a really short space of time in Europe. Whereas here, the girls have agents. And the agents typically get them to space that stuff out.
There you go.
Over a longer period of time.
There you go. Listen, Sterling, this was and again, and you can tell me how accurate this is. This was just my hypothesis. If a young hot girl, I guess in America with an age, and I think that's how this happened. You've heard of Brandy Love, correct?
Yeah.
Right. She's done it right. Okay. She's been in the business for over 20 years.
Yeah.
When she first started, she did girl on girl stuff. Then she did hetero for a long time. She still didn't do any butt stuff. It was hetero for 10 years. Then she did hetero with maybe another girl, then hetero with maybe another guy.
Bingo.
Then she did butt stuff. Now she's doing the brothers. Now she's doing BBC. This chick is 47 years old and she is still in the business.
Yep.
She clearly was not shot out. So clearly the difference between American adult film actresses and European is that there's no agent. There's no agent there to say, well, wait a minute. You don't want to do any trains because you're only 19 years old. How long do you really want to be in the business, right? How accurate is that?
That's pretty accurate. The thing in Europe is that there's a couple of agents out there, but all they really are is just a listing that the girls get put on the listing, and then they find the jobs they find them work with the studios. What they do in America is they sort of manage their career a bit more.
Okay.
Like you just described. Sarah J is another really good example. She's one of my friends.
Oh, okay.
Who's in the industry for
is that an adult film actress?
Yeah, she's been in the industry for 20 years.
Sarah Jane, you said?
Miami.
Yeah, she's a Miami girl.
Okay. Oh, so Sarah Jane is in Sarah Jane's
Sarah J.
Oh, Sarah J. Okay. Oh, she's an adult film actress and she's out of Miami.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so she did it right. Okay.
She's done the exact same thing you just described with Brandy Love, except she has never done butt stuff.
Oh,
okay. So she keeps and she's told me herself, like, because we've worked together, she said, I do it in my private life.
Of course.
But she's like, I will never put it on any video for sale or for any company, because that way all my fans will still wait.
Wow,
The
dude, there you go. Wow, because they're holding out, right? They're holding out. So she hasn't done butt stuff. She probably hasn't done brother stuff. Has she done BBC stuff yet or not?
She does that all the time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. So I guess the butt is sort of the end all be all. And so I guess it depends.
Girls put different sort of things.
Listen, that's brilliant. She knows that her fans, oh my God, I can't wait for the Sarah Jane butt video. And she knows that they're going to wait. And she's probably been in the business forever.
Yeah.
She's older too, Donovan. She's like in her 40s or 30s, Sterling, right?
Yeah, she's probably like late 30s, early 40s.
What?
Yeah.
You gotta be. Here, I'll look it up right here.
Google real quick. Hey guys, before Donovan's looking that up, guys, we got 2,277 people watching. Like the video, guys. Obviously, content like this gets censored all the time. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Comment, subscribe. Sterling just made a YouTube as well. Check him out and sub to his channel. And yeah, guys, like this video, man, so we get pushed in the algorithm and more guys can see awesome content like this.
Yeah, so she is okay, so she's she's 38 years old.
There you go.
Wow, 38 years old. Wow, holy cannoli. See, I'm telling you, man, women can be smart with, listen, and I've never ever hated on women in the sex industry, but they gotta do it right. Yeah. But Sarah J, rather, she's never gonna complain, oh, I can't get hired, because she knows what she's doing. Am I wrong?
Oh man, she's a smart girl. She's a hustler.
No, man.
I'll tell you what, something she did. She was telling me this. So what happened? So she was maybe what are we in the 2020? She was like she blew up in like the early 2000s, right?
Okay.
And when she sort of started, became really popular. There was a few other girls around the same time who became popular, but they sort of fell out of the industry and they retired. What happened was Sarah went and bought all their content, bought their websites.
Wow.
And now she exclusively owns their videos.
That is incredible. So you can like, so it's almost, that was almost like a hostile takeover. Like she acquired.
It wasn't hostile. It was like a lazy takeover. The girls just didn't want to. The girls were just like, all right, I'm out. I'm done with it, and just didn't bother. They didn't see the monetary potential in owning their own stuff for for forever. And Sarah did. She was like, all right, I'll take it.
And she's still in the business. She's still in the business. It looks like she's still in the business. Myron, you said you had a quick point after Sterling?
All I was going to say was just, guys, don't forget to like the video. We're 2,260 people watching. Guys, get those likes up. We're up to 807, guys. Get us to 1,000 likes, please, because obviously content like this always gets censored. Shout out to Sterling.
You better believe it. Listen, we got a porn star on camera. Ain't no way this is getting monetized. Appreciate that.
Yeah, my bad.
Tank with $5 super chat.
Hold on for one.
Well, hey, listen, we don't make the rules, right? Tank $5 says, Don, these OnlyFans girls will do good for a month or two, then sell their subscriptions for 80% off when dudes start unsubscribing. Let's learn the difference between there, and there, boys and girls. Yes, I am absolutely positively that grammar Nazi, but yeah, that's a very good point. They start selling stuff at a deep discount. Then they end up not really doing it. Moosey PM says, this has been a great show. I wasn't expecting it to take this turn. Class is indeed in session. Yeah, this is fantastic. Chris Von Erich, $20 says, well, I don't think any of the female porn stars are taking anything out of their mouths until they hear cut.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be really surprised.
Dude, listen, do women like being porn stars? Do they think it's one thing, it ends up being another? Like, do they cry themselves to sleep at night?
I lump girls into like 3 different categories in our industry. Okay. Right. So there's the first class of girls, which are fantastic to work with. They're like the genuine nymphomaniacs. They're in it for the right reason.
Okay.
Right. Which is they're an exhibitionist. They love sex. They love showing off. So like they're the kind of girls that when I get to set, like I had to go like this yesterday on set. Like there's a scene going on upstairs, like 2 floors above us. We can't make any noise because they're still filming. So me and her are like, we're getting it on in the makeup room while we're waiting for the scene before us to finish.
Sure. Right.
Like that kind of girl, like before, like they're flirting with you and they're all over you from like the word go. Then there's a second, third, which are like what I would call professionals. And they tend to be girls that have been in the industry a bit longer. So like the novelty's kind of worn off a bit.
Okay.
So they won't be all over you during the day. They'll be quite professional. But then once the camera's rolling, they're awesome. They're great. They let it out. you know. And then there's the last third, which are the divas.
Oh my God, you can't be a diva, be a porn star. What the hell are you doing?
They pull it off. They're the ones who,
oh my God,
basically, like the moment the camera turns away from their face, they jump off your penis.
Wow.
They're the ones who shouldn't, in my opinion, they shouldn't. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. And you see a lot of there's a few younger girls. No, actually, these are predominantly younger girls. I don't see any older girls that are like this. They're all younger girls that are like this. They get into it for the wrong reasons. They get into it because they want either quick cash or they just want validation and attention.
Huh.
That tends to be the common theme.
Validation and attention. So you mean to tell me that a young, hot girl would have sex on camera, not for the money, but for validation and attention?
That's what it seems like.
That is incredible. I would never, ever have guessed that. Wow.
What happens is, and now, as you know, as like Western women are becoming increasingly more promiscuous, shall we say?
Yeah, right.
you get a lot of these younger girls who don't do what we just described earlier, as in like space stuff out throughout their career.
Yeah.
Like younger girls in America will come in and within like they're like right off the bat within their first week they're doing butt stuff or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Like they're not considering like a long-term plan. They're sort of jumping into it. They're diving in head first and being like, I want to do this thing because I've never done it before. So they just do it.
Oh boy. Yeah. And then they end up shooting themselves out, or what did you call it?
Yeah, they shoot themselves out.
Yeah, they shoot themselves. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Agent and everything. King Life with the $5 super chat says Adriana Chechik has been in it for a while and she has 315 scenes, with most being G-bangs. I'd like to know your thoughts on her, Sterling. Yeah, what are your thoughts on her?
I've worked with Adriana. I like Adriana.
Okay.
Me and her actually went to a swingers party once.
Awesome. Oh,
yeah.
so she is genuinely a nymphomaniac. Like she's my reason. Okay.
She's one of the she's a girl I'd lump into this first. She's actually got a really interesting life story. If I'm remembering this correctly, she was actually an orphan.
Wow.
And, and I think her parents like abandoned her or something like that. And I'm not trying to create a pity story for her or anything.
Oh, of course.
She's like she had a shitty start and she's actually made a lot of money and she's done some she made some very smart decisions to get to where she is now. So she's a girl who's doing it right, in my opinion. Even like it's sort of a contradictory example to what I just described, but she's kind of made a career out of being an extreme performer.
Okay, good stuff. And again, because she did it. Oh, okay, Adriana Chechik. Wow, she's only 28. Oh, she's from PA. Oh yeah, she's hot, dude. Oh.
And I just want to say this, Sterling. Is it because she didn't like go and start with that, or did she start with that extreme stuff in the beginning?
I actually don't know the beginning of her career. I do know that she was with an agent that has a very bad reputation in our industry for pushing girls into things pretty early on. Yeah. But it's the way she handled it. Like she handled it in a way. What you see is a lot of girls, have blamed their agent in the past.
Okay.
Or, signing them up for stuff that they might not have been comfortable doing. Whereas Adriana sort of owned it all. She was like, yeah, I'm a slut. So what? And like, just
not a diva.
Yeah, not a diva at all.
Right.
So she sort of leaned into it.
Man, good for her, dude. So again, female sex workers are not bad people. And that's just how it is, man. But the divas, those are the ones. See, Mia Khalifa is that diva, right? She's the one that did it clearly for the validation because now she's dogging the business that literally made her into what she is today.
Bingo.
Jason Moreno, $5 has a question for Sterling. He says, who would have thought the end would be the end to anyone's career? Is it safe to say you took the rear on the way out? Wow. Another question for Sterling from Synth Paragon says, what is OnlyFans' effect on the industry? Is it a major one or does it really affect it? Yeah. So how has OnlyFans affected the adult film industry?
It's changing it. So
no, really? How?
Well, so OnlyFans has been around for like 3 years, right? And it's only really it's this year. It's really
blew up
to blow up because of quarantine.
Yeah, the COVID and all that. Yeah.
So you had a bunch of girls from outside the industry just jump into it.
Yeah,
because they all lost their jobs as waitresses or at Starbucks or whatever.
Those are the big ones.
No. So what's happening now is that a lot of really popular girls, especially, are making way more on their OnlyFans. They make more in like a day on their OnlyFans than they would, in some cases, than they would make in like a month of paid shoots.
Jesus Christ, man! And this is $1,000 a shoot, right?
Like for an average girl, not a popular girl.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, not all the girls are making this.
Okay.
The smart ones are pulling in like $50K a month.
Okay.
So what's happening is you've got these girls who are really, really big names who are money makers for the big studios.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time they shoot a scene for the big studio gets more signups, they get more views, they make more money.
Okay.
These girls now are less inclined to shoot for big studios when they could just make as much money at home.
Jesus Christ. Even with OnlyFans taking 20%, they're like, dude, I'm still going to make a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah, basically. And an interesting thing that happened was, so one of the biggest studio in our industry is called MindGeek. It's a Canadian company.
Okay.
And they own they're the overarching company that owns Pornhub.
Okay.
They also own Brazzers. They also own Digital Playground, and they also own Reality Kings and a few other things.
Okay.
So
I've heard of Pornhub and I don't recognize the other two, but yeah, go ahead.
But basically, those are like the biggest names in our industry, right? So this one company owns all this. What happened was, so lockdown hit. Because they'd set like quarantine. They said we're not going to shoot during quarantine for like people's safety or whatever. Right?
Oh wow, of course.
So this company actually has contract stars. And their contract stars, they promise them, say, like 10, 20, whatever scenes per month.
Okay.
They have to shoot for their company. So, and they lock them into an exclusive deal. So, like, no one else gets to shoot these girls. We're the only ones who get them. So all their fans come to our website, right?
Right.
What happened was lockdown hit. They couldn't shoot anyone. All these girls, what are they going to do? They just start doubling down on their OnlyFans, of course.
Wow.
And MindGeek is like, well, we're not getting a single penny of this. What the hell? And they on the contract. Wow. So they went and made their own version, which is called Brazzers Plus, which is basically Brazzers Plus, which is basically a copycat of OnlyFans.
Oh, very nice.
Company. So they had so all their contract stars had to shoot stuff for them.
Man, oh man, this is a great conversation. I didn't know any of this stuff. Here's another question from Synth Paragon. Wait a minute, hold on. It was actually another one. Oh, here we are. He says, does a male's acting career degenerate like women's, or do men generally maintain their dignity? Awesome show, guys. Wow, that's a good question.
I have no dignity. What are you talking about? No, like dudes, like here's the thing. There's a group of guys in our industry who are like some of basically the top performers in the world. And they've been doing this for 20 odd years.
There you go.
And they're in their like late 40s, 50s.
Yep.
Like we're talking like this. Like I worked with an he's like these guys are all going to end up in the Hall of Fame in our industry, right?
Okay. Ron Jeremy, Holmes.
Yeah. Like Steve Holmes, I worked with him for the first time 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And this dude, I have never seen someone more perverted in my entire life. He is hilarious.
Grabbing asses and all that.
He's like he has this thing where he requests that the girls don't shower before they turn up to set.
What?
Yeah, he likes them to like
dude, that is that's the opposite of me. Dude, before I have sex with my girl, I make sure she scrubs it all, man. Like I want her coming out smooth as a baby seal everywhere.
Fact.
But that guy's like in his 60s.
Okay. Wow. In his 60s. Jesus Christ, and still getting it on.
And he's still and everyone loves him. Everyone loves shooting him. He's still making good money. So, like, if you're a guy in this industry and you do the job well and people like you can keep doing it.
Listen, we all like dirty old men, right? Oh, he's going to be a dirty old man. Nobody doesn't like dirty old men. They make everybody laugh, especially in, I guess, porn. Here's another question. Is hypergamy in porn or not? Big ups to everyone. So, is hypergamy prevalent in the porn industry?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This goes back to that third I was talking about who are divas.
There you go.
Here's how it manifests in our industry.
Okay.
So what happens is you get these young girls who are starlets, right? They've been in the industry maybe 6 months to a year, and they have a very meteoric rise. For some reason, they become very popular.
Okay.
Right. they've got a certain look, something about the personality, whatever it is, the fans really love them. So they go from being an average girl to being super popular porn chick.
Almost a celebrity, yeah.
What happens? So I know this because I've worked with girls before. I've worked with girls in their first like 6 months, and I've worked with them like a year later. And you see what happens is once they get this meteoric rise, they start getting booked with the top. Well, they in that first year they'll get booked with like the top tier male talent, like the best of the best guys, right?
Okay.
So like status still plays a massive role in our industry,
of course.
Right. So once they've worked with some of these top guys, like future Hall of Famers, etc.
Oh my God!
They don't really want to work with everyone else.
This is awesome. Of course not.
They become divas on set. Like they don't like if I'm not working with like this group of like 5 dudes, then it's like they come to set with the attitude of like, oh, you're lucky just to be near my vagina. That attitude.
Freaking Christ! You've been pounded out by 60 guys, and I'm the lucky one. Get out of here with that, man. Right. So, who are the top guys in the industry? Like, who are the top 5 future Hall of Famers that every starlet wants to perform with?
At the moment, the most, I'm just going on what what girls sort of the guys that girls brag about working with. Right?
Okay.
Manuel Ferreira would be in the top easily.
Okay.
Ramon Nomar would be up there. Probably Xander Corvus, Small Hands, and Isaiah Maxwell.
Oh man, I haven't heard of any of those guys. I was hoping I'd recognize some of those guys.
The last 3 are pretty young guys. The last 3 have been in the industry for like 8 years.
Okay.
Manuel and Ramon have been in it for like 20 years. They came out from Europe. They're like Spanish and French dudes.
Somebody in the chat said Rocco
Siffredi.
Oh, Rocco Siffredi. I know about Peter North. I don't know who Tom Byron is, and T-Boy. Oh, T-Boy.
PT Boy's retired. He's long retired.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. He said they were porn stars back in the day.
Rocco Siffredi is actually so Rocco Siffredi he runs his own studio out of Budapest. I've worked for him like half a dozen times when I was working in Budapest in Hungary.
Okay. How many scenes have you shot in your career?
At this point, I actually keep a spreadsheet of all.
Good. Good.
It's like it's like tracking your income, you know. At this point, I've shot 330 plus professional scenes.
Okay. So how many of them were with the same girls? So is it 330 different girls? Some of the same?
It's probably close to like 300 girls. Yeah.
Okay. So I just got a text from my girlfriend, and apparently she wants your number. Totally kidding. Greg McGrath with the $10 super chat says, Donovan, you nail through the process of the grind. Thank you for your content. Absolutely. Anti-Gravity 74. I haven't seen him in here in a while. $10 says, wasn't expecting this banger of a live stream. Shout out to Donovan, Myron, and Sterling. And then he just became
bring you guys the heat.
Dude, I'm telling you, we've got Johnny Sins, Nacho Dival. There's the Manuel Ferreira. Here's a question from Tricky Trini. Are there any downsides to being a man in the industry, if any?
Can leave you a bit jaded.
Really? How does that leave you jaded?
Look. Actually, I'll rewind that comment.
Okay.
The downside is there's a downside to being red pilled in this industry.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
that's where the downside is, because you sort of when you understand female nature, and it's like, okay, like I'm turning out these girls like every day of the week or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
It's like you like I'm getting to the age, like I want kids. I'm getting to the age where I want like to have
this is what I was going to ask you next. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, so you're 33. You want kids. How are you going to do that? Like, I mean,
more specifically, I want a harem.
Oh, okay.
With a lot of kids.
Good.
I want like a dozen kids minimum.
Okay.
So like 3 or 4 wives, dozen kids sounds about right.
That'll work.
But you're in this industry, if you're red pilled, you see, especially because I see lots of like younger girls, like American girls coming in and out. I'm like, man, like it's going to be fucking hard to find like a girl who hasn't had a train run on her.
I'm telling you. So this is an interesting question. So what does Sterling, do you have a girlfriend now? I mean, have you dated while? Okay.
I've dated a bunch of girls in this industry, but most of that was before I got red pilled.
Oh, you don't.
My last girlfriend, I had like I got red pilled like about halfway through dating her.
Wow. Awakened while merry, like Rollo Tomasi says. Holy moly. Yeah. Dude, you got red pilled in the that's incredible.
And Sterling, it's kind of frowned upon, right, for like guys in the industry to like deal with chicks that aren't in the industry because like of the testing and everything like that. It's kind of frowned upon for you guys to do it.
Yeah, so, I mean, like guys do. Let's be honest, we're all pigs. So
guys do what? I think I missed that. What was that?
So there's a bit of a stigma against, like in general, against people within the industry having sex with people outside the industry.
Oh, okay.
Because of the testing. So we have to get STI tested every 14 days, right?
Okay.
And the only way, like, we haven't had, so for example, there hasn't been a HIV transmission on a adult industry set in like over a decade.
Good. It's very good
because of the standards we put in place, right? But occasionally we get like the clap and stuff coming in.
Of course.
And oddly enough, it tends to happen around the time of Coachella. So
of course,
these younger girls go to Coachella and hook up with Chad and come back and bring the clap into our industry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then everyone like ends up canceling their shoots for like 2 weeks straight.
Bitches always ruin things, man.
So there's that kind of it's not overt, but there's a little bit of it's like if you're a guy who's known or a girl who's known to like sleep outside with what we would call civilians,
right?
Then you're just increasing the risk of bringing an STI into the industry. And then if you do that, then not only can't you work for like 2 weeks, but everyone you've worked with in the last week can't work for 2 weeks. So everyone's like you're making everyone lose a lot of money.
Wow. So there are monetary consequences for promiscuity off the set.
Offset, yeah. So what ends up happening is that everyone within the industry, like if you're, it's like the ultimate click. Like if you're in the click, then getting laid is simple as sending a DM.
Sure, right.
It's like you just say, "Hey, do you want to shoot content together?" And like, yeah,
sure.
And then you hook up.
Wow, dude, what a life! Pick a hot girl. Yeah, I'd like to do a scene with her.
That's basically. I mean, look, they don't all. Not everyone's saying yes.
Sure, of course not.
But like, yeah, I can go through my Twitter feed and like message like 30 chicks and they'd be like, "Yeah, let's shoot content." Like,
has there ever been a female actress you didn't want to shoot a scene with?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you name names, or are you gonna?
No, I'm not gonna name her name. There's a handful. Like I've got we have what's in the industry what's called a no list.
Really? What's a no list?
A no list is so guys and girls have no lists. It's basically just a list of people you do not want to work with.
Okay.
So you'll tell your agent, you'll say to me, "Hey, put these people on my no list. I don't want to be booked with them." And then when the agent coordinates with the director, they'll be like, "Oh, who are you thinking about partnering up with this female talent or whatever?" And they'll be like, here are the choices: this person, this person, this person. He's like, "Okay, well that person's on the no list, so don't book that person."
Wow.
Yeah.
Black guys in the industry, do they do more scenes? Do they do less scenes? What is their life like in the because clearly black men live a very different existence in the porn industry, or am I wrong about that?
No, there's a big difference.
Okay.
So what tends to happen, at least from like, obviously I'm not a black dude, in case you couldn't tell.
Of course, right.
So opposite, actually. Quite the opposite.
My perspective can be a little bit skewed, but this is just what I've observed, right?
Sure, of course.
So most mainstream companies shoot white dudes.
Right.
Okay. Black dudes tend to get fetishized.
Right. Yes.
The BBC genre.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few companies that sort of specifically shoot BBC stuff. Right?
Oh.
So they'll never hire a guy like me because I'm white, but they will hire all the brothers.
Okay.
Now, what that tends to mean though is they get pigeonholed.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of black guys who only can really shoot interracial stuff.
Okay.
They don't get cast in like a regular they wouldn't get, even though they might be the same age as me, have like a similar look to me, they would never be cast as just a stepdad.
Right.
Because they're black.
Right. They'd be cast as the bull or the guy that's cheating, the guy that the wife is cheating on the stepdad with.
Yeah. So there are a couple of dudes who've kind of broken that I guess you might call it a glass ceiling. There's a couple of dudes who've kind of broken that stereotype. One of them, a really good example would be Ricky Johnson and Isaiah Maxwell. Those two guys have definitely broken that stereotype.
Okay.
And they get cast in it's more about dialogue, to be honest. Like
Really?
if you get cast in like dialogue roles and like what we would call feature films where there's lots of dialogue and stuff like that.
Right.
Around the sex, then that's sort of more there's more white dudes getting those roles.
Wow.
But here's the caveat. What I've noticed is that black dudes with a big Johnson will make a hell of a lot more money than a white dude.
Wow.
On their OnlyFans.
Oh, on their OnlyFans. How about that?
Or on their own like material.
Wow. Listen, here's $1 million.
That's because the term. Oh, sorry, Donovan.
No, go ahead. Because what? What were you going to say?
Because the term BBC is a very, very searched for term.
Okay.
It is.
Very true, man.
Yeah.
So here, listen, I guess settle the debate. Who has bigger dicks, white guys or black guys in the porn industry? Because I'm of the mind that it's almost like if you're a black guy, you can't have a guy, you can't be an actor with your size junk. You got to be 12, 13, whatever inches. So is that part of the fetishization? Because black actors tend to have bigger Johnsons only because black actors with extremely large Johnsons get cast, or is that a stereotype too?
You basically nailed it on the head.
Wow.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed it on the head. It's like I know a couple of dudes, black guys who have like basically average sized dicks.
Sure.
They don't work.
Wow.
They really don't get
gotta have a huge, oh my
God. Basically like you have to have like, as a black dude, you pretty much have to fit the stereotype. So I kind of get it. Like, I've only seen the penises that I've worked around.
Right, sure, right.
So I might have a skewed view, right?
Sure.
Well, the black dudes tend to be packing. I'm not going to lie. The black dudes tend to be packing. But there's also like, and here's the thing. But the white dudes that are really packing are all like scrawny, thin white dudes.
Are you serious?
It's like there's this weird, like, and it's like a super consistent observation that if a dude is like scrawny, if it's a white guy and he's like really scrawny and like lanky, he'll probably be packing.
No shit, man.
Yeah. It's like it must be like during they're a teenager, instead of like the growth spurt going into like their muscles, it goes into one place.
That is unbelievable. That is but the black dudes with the bigger Johnsons make more money off the set.
That's what I've observed. I mean, look, I don't have access to their bank accounts. I'm just going off like the numbers in terms of like the views they get, the following they have, right? And those are the things which you can monetize. Right. But yeah, like BBC dudes, they get like a far greater following because it's a fetishization. It's not just a fetishization. Like it's like a bull cuckold fetishization.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, man.
I got a quick question real fast for Sterling, because I forgot to ask you this on my show, which we'll bring you back when you come to Miami. But my thing is this, dude. Do you even cold approach women anymore? Do you even feel the need? Like, are you on dating apps? Are you okay? So that's awesome. You're like, I don't even run game on these chicks. I already got a plethora of porn stars.
Dude, I was on Tinder for a bit, and then I got friggin' my account got deleted.
Because it doesn't matter because you're a porn star. You can get laid anyway.
You put your OnlyFans on there because they'll ban you if you do that.
No, I didn't. But I don't want to give it so here's the thing. I'm in LA. Right. All the photos I'm using are basically like photos I've had taken on set, like professionally.
Right.
So I'm using I'm linking my Instagram account to it. So I'm using my stage name. Right? I got reported because they think I'm catfishing.
So they don't think you're really Sterling Cooper.
I can't win.
Tony Le Guin says, awesome show, guys. What are Sterling's thoughts on the death of male star Brandon Iron? Did he really take his life because of a girl? I haven't heard of that.
I honestly haven't heard of that either. Sorry, man. I can't really speak to that.
Okay, all right. New York's Ninth Wonder, $10 says, shout out to the brilliant gentlemen, Don, Myron, and Sterling, giving us this brilliant stream.
I like this.
Yes, dude, this is fascinating. Tyson DeLeo, $5 Canadian says, for Sterling, what is the worst thing a girl has done on set to make you upset?
Great questions.
Oh, that's a great
fucking question.
That's a great question.
Raised your dick? Did she bite? Like, what happened, man?
Okay.
Did she get on you when you went back door? Like, what happened?
That I've had that happen a dozen times. That
dude,
at this point, the one that springs to mind. Yeah, this girl really annoyed me. So I actually, whenever something stupid like this happens on set, I actually write it down into like a Word doc so I can recall it. But there was one girl I was on set with. This girl was just so bloody ADD. Like, so we're trying to do like the scene, and she's like walking off camera, setting up her tripod and her phone so she can get some BTS for her OnlyFans.
Okay.
So she's dicking around doing that, and then she's supposed to we're taking photos, and she gets into this position, and she's supposed to put, like, I'm sitting in a chair, she's supposed to put her foot like here on my lap. Yeah, but she puts it on like this table right next to us, which has this very expensive, rickety-looking vase. Steps on this friggin' table, knocks it over, destroys this vase.
Oh God!
Pandemonium. Like, we're delaying the shoot even more. That was like the second thing that happened. It was all in the same shoot. It's all within like 30 minutes of each other. And then she hops on the back of the chair I'm sitting on for a photo. And then and then causes the chair to like tip over, and I have to catch her midair. Otherwise, she was like this close from like cracking her head on like a concrete.
Fucking hell, dude!
I'd like catch it, and as soon as I got off set, I texted my agent like, never ever put
her on the no list. Are you on any actresses no list that you know of?
Probably.
Who knows?
I know there's a few girls who hate me now because I've spoken my mind a bit too freely around them.
Okay. We already answered this question. Would Sterling ever have kids? He already says he wants a harem. Willie Beeman, Steeman Willie Beeman, $5 says his content is so insightful and real. Keep dropping the content. I smashed the porn star Ms. Booty in 2015. Okay, that is. Here's an interesting question. What percentage of men in the industry are red-pilled? That is a very interesting question.
I can count on one hand the number of guys who are red-pilled.
Wow. So they're all blue-pilled. Okay, so what's the difference in the mindset of a man who's red-pilled and a man who's not in the industry?
He just doesn't take shit. He does. He's. It's pretty obvious which guys are kind of like fed up with the thievery attitude, and then everyone else sort of enables it.
Now, here's the thing, Sterling, because you would think that the guys, like, just being in the industry, it's going to, like, you know, make them become aware of female nature even more so. But you're telling me there's guys that, like, literally are still simping on set? Or is it like they're still more aware than the average guy?
They're more aware than the average guy, but they still enable, and they still, like, maybe simping isn't the right word.
Can you give us, like, an example, like, on set of, like, a guy like this guy's an idiot, like this guy's
clearly this guy is not red-pilled.
He's not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the guy who is, like taking selfies for the girl all day, and he's doing, like, so for example, if he shoots content with a girl, he'll edit it for her to send it to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus!
Even though she's going to make 10x what he makes off the same video.
Gross unaware of his value in relation to hers is what it would be. Whereas, like, because I'm intrigued in this, because, like, we all know the average guy, he's paying for OnlyFans. He's like, he doesn't have an idea. Most of them don't get sex in general, but these guys are getting sex, so their blue pillness is probably a level higher than, like, the average guy. You know what I mean? So I was.
It's like it's despite the fact that they're literally getting paid to get pussy, they still pedestalize pussy.
Oh, wow.
Jesus, incredible. Christ, they pedestalize pussy even though they're getting paid to get it?
Yeah, that's probably the best way of phrasing it.
Yeah, that's a great insight right there.
Does being in the industry sap your willingness to date? Because the reason why most guys want to date is to get laid. You're getting laid. So is that the reason you have a girlfriend? Because you're never going to get laid anyway?
Well, basically. Like, I've got more important things to do right now.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm starting a YouTube channel, etc. So it's like, I mean, I'm in LA. Let's be honest, the dating options in LA are probably not fantastic.
Oh, God, no, they're not.
But like I said, like, I've made a very drastic change in my worldview in the last, like, 12 months.
Wow. That is
you know, in terms of, like, what I'm looking for. Like, now I'm very, very crystal clear on what I'm looking for in terms of, like, a long-term partner.
Okay. What are you looking for in a long-term partner?
Submissive, obedient.
Oh, wow.
Feminine. You know,
Submissive, obedient, feminine. Ay, man. Holy moly. We got another question for you. And listen, thank you for making time for us, man. I really do appreciate this. Sterling is right with the rise of Blacked. Blacked.com. The brothers are slowly becoming the new brother, stepson, and showcase for. What are your thoughts on that?
funny thing with Blacked.com, right? So I actually heard a very insightful story about how Blacked.com, if for those who aren't really sort of in this space like I am, was basically the most popular website on the planet for about at least 12 months.
Oh, well, what is Blacked.com?
It purely focuses on interracial porn.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
right? It's the BBC fetish.
Oh, okay. So that's
it's shot in a very artistic way, right? What the story about how that was created? So the tube sites have a tremendous amount of data on people's search patterns.
Okay.
So what happened was the director Greg Lansky, who was sort of the guy who was the social media genius behind Blacked.com, the brand.
Oh, okay.
He actually teamed up with some guys who owned a tube site and sat down with them and was like, look, what are your most searched for terms? And the two most popular terms on their website, one was BBC and the other was a thing called X art, which is basically just a style of shooting pornography, like an artistic style.
Okay.
And so Blacked was literally just an amalgamation of those two things.
So what kind of artistic style were they? I mean, it's angles or
it's to do with the way they light the set.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
It's like a lighting thing, and like the way they dress and the places they shoot. It's not just like a white couch in like a room. You know, it's sort of a bit more involved.
Okay. All right. Very good. Isidore Calderon, $10 says, what do you think of female P-stars like Kiara, Mia, acting like dating experts, giving advice to men and women? Oh, wow.
I don't know. I've never heard the name Kiara Mia before, so it's off my radar. But okay. But I do know. I've ranted about this a few times. It gives me the shits when people, like, especially when guys are asking female porn stars,
dude, for
advice on how to be better in the bedroom. You don't ask a sheep how to shear its own wool. It should be coming to me.
Oh, wow.
I know what, like, I'm the guy who's doing it. Like,
right.
Because women will give terrible advice in the bedroom.
Of course they will. So answer this question, and I guess we'll let you go on this because I know you've probably got other things to do. And again, I appreciate your time, man. I definitely got to get my hands on your book because listen, I want a bigger Johnson. Everybody does, right? And if a porn star did it, then why can't I? What do you do? What is the best advice you can give men to be better in the bedroom? You've had sex with hundreds of girls. You know what works. You know what doesn't. What are the three most important things?
I actually had a guy hit me up last night, actually.
Oh, okay.
Asking for this pretty specific bit of advice because he'd had some performance anxiety in the bedroom, right? And you're seeing this more and more with like younger dudes. This performance anxiety seems to be creeping up to the younger generation. Yeah. And the bit of advice I gave him, there was two ways I phrased it because it's more of a mentality thing in the bedroom.
Okay.
The first thing I said was, fuck her like you hate her.
Yep.
If that mentality doesn't quite resonate with guys, and it might not resonate with guys who haven't got much experience.
Okay.
Chicks especially. So I rephrased. Another way I phrased it for him was be the selfish pervert.
Boom! Sterling, listen, man. Dude. Listen, I'm vindicated. I feel vindicated. 3 years ago, I did a podcast. It's called 4 Reasons Why You Should Never Give a Shit About a Woman's Needs in Bed. Then about a year later, I released How to Master the Game. And in it, I said, based on my experience, the only things you need to do to be quote unquote good in bed, fuck her hard, smack her ass, pull her hair, and call her names. It doesn't matter if you have a 2-inch dick or a 12-inch dick, she will remember you. Is that accurate? Is that what you're telling us?
It's ironic. Like, it's like the more you care about her orgasm, the less likely she is to orgasm.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Any of you losers that had ever watched any of my videos, Donovan doesn't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 blah. This guy's a porn star, and he is literally telling you exactly what I've been telling you for 4.5 years. Sterling Cooper, listen, man, thank you very much for making an appearance on our show. This was a fascinating conversation.
You're welcome.
Dude, listen, if you would like for me to come on to your platform and do an interview with you, I am at your disposal. This was absolutely fantastic. Tell people where they can find you, your OnlyFans, your books, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So don't worry about. I don't think your fans need to worry about my OnlyFans. Probably not their cup of tea.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
You can find me. My Twitter account it's totally safe for work.
Okay.
It is just full of my musings. It is at Sterling Cooper X, like it is spelled here on the screen.
Perfect.
You can also search that into YouTube. I have a YouTube channel which I'm live streaming every day, so you can get my and I interview both guys who are sort of in this red pill space, and I get female porn stars on my show, and we chat about dating and relationships, and I try to eke out bits of truth out of them during these conversations.
Good.
Just type it, look me up on YouTube, Sterling Cooper, and give me a follow there, and you can see more of my insights.
Dude, Sterling, thank you very, very much for making time for us, man. Listen, get my information from Myron, dude. We got to have another conversation like this, man.
Would love to.
Sterling Cooper, gentlemen, that was fantastic, man. Like that was fascinating. You know what I'm saying? Like that was absolutely freaking crazy. I've talked to guys who've worked around the industry, never talked to a guy who's in it.
Yeah, man. I picked this topic, like as soon as we were like, hey, we're gonna do this topic, I was like, man, let me reach out. And he had some time, and he was, shout out to Sterling for making time to jump on last night, you know what I mean? And I told you guys we're gonna have a good show for you guys today, man.
This was fantastic. I think this was easily the best. This is the best show we have ever done, and I love the fact that he validated me.
Yeah.
He validated me. I keep telling these dudes, stop caring about her needs in bed. Then he got all these other guys. You have to do Donovan. You don't know what you're talking about. I told guys the only thing you need to do to give a woman pleasure in bed is to pound her hard, pull her hair, smack her ass. That's it. That's it. And I cover this in depth in how to build a quality woman from the ground up. Chapter 4, The Sex Guide. It is literally almost word for word what Sterling Cooper, a porn star himself, just told you.
She'll get off on
unbelievable.
She'll get off on you getting off. You guys got to understand, man, that women understand that their primary agency is their sexuality. So she's gonna get off on you getting off. And like, if you guys want to make a girl feel like very self-conscious, have sex and don't ejaculate, and she's gonna wonder like where she failed, because women know deep down their primary agency is their sexuality. So if they can't even do that, they'll be like, wow, okay, and they're gonna feel like crap. They might not call you back. They might feel that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I had a girl dump me. Okay, I had a girl dump it, and dude, I put this text conversation on my website. It might still be there, but it was this girl. Her name was Michelle. And dude, I'm gonna have to fish that out one of these days, because it was fascinating. So I've been seeing her for like 2 weeks, and she told me that she didn't want to see me anymore. And I'm like, all right. She's like, well, don't you want to know why? I'm like, well, I don't really care, right? But the reason why, and she said it, she's like, I don't feel like you're super turned on by me. She says it takes you like 45 minutes to blow your first load. I mean, I'm having 2 and 3 orgasms. It takes you like 45 minutes to blow your first load. You're kind of giving me a complex. I'm like, all right, well, see you later. I appreciate it, but it is what it is. That's what it is. If a girl dude, I'm telling you, 99% of a woman's satisfaction is directly tied to your satisfaction.
Thanks, man.
That is the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do in a woman's mind is not blow your load. That is all there is to it.
Make her feel like crap. She can't like, if you can't satisfy your own man, she knows if a woman can't satisfy her man, she knows it's a matter of time until you're going to find the woman that can, especially if she knows you're high value. It's going to start having her going like, whoa, what's going on here? And she's going to start like, yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, man, I've been telling you guys this. I've been telling you guys this for 4.5, 5 years. And dude, I feel like I have just been vindicated. I've been vindicated, man. This is unbelievable. I'm glad that we had him on. Myron, what are your final thoughts on the Mia Khalifa going back to OnlyFans? What is your final salvo on that?
Yeah, man, it's just a matter of time until she's gonna start showing some real skin, man. And just like you guys heard from Sterling, is that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, she made a lot more money than she claims. Obviously, the clout, the scenes, she actually had directive ownership on her scenes that she did. Yep. And, you know, she's just trying to sell the victim card, and she's profiting from both ends, from the porn industry, but at the same time, she's trying to forsake it and say, oh, I'm more than that. So, you know, guys, understand this. The 5 women that are watching, fast money leads to fast consequences and fast embarrassment. So just remember that.
That is exactly right. I could not agree more. Listen, Myron. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We got a few more super chats here. Let me
for sure.
Let me go ahead and get to these. Shows on Hanma says, what's the minimum size for black men to be eligible for work? I don't know. It's probably 10 inches at least. I mean, Sterling Cooper said it himself. If you're black and you're above, you have to be way above average to fit the stereotype. So I guess it's 10 inches. Professor Till, $5 says, a woman doesn't know what she likes until a man introduces her to it. Hashtag free game. I like it. Very, very good statement. Novi, 2000 with the $10 super chat says, great show, guys. Thanks for sharing the behind the scenes info. Donovan was right. I'm telling you, man. Dude. Oh my God. I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to the thing 100 times. I'm going to listen to it 100 times. And I'm going to let the people know a porn star just told you what I've been telling you.
Clean. I think this one's going to be able to stay up. Honestly, I think
it might
going to stay up.
It might. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Jesse, with the 5 euros, says, when you guys said this is going to be a good show, that was an understatement of the year. I agree with Don. This is the best show you've ever done. Dude, these get better and better all the time. They really, really do, man. Marlon Roll, $7.50 super chat says, great show again, guys. Nate Dogg says, is the 7 tomorrow? No, the 7 is on Sunday night. But one-on-one with Donovan Sharpe, I've got Steve the Dean Williams and Mr. Locario in studio tomorrow afternoon at 3:00 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Do not miss it. Myron, listen, incredible show, man. These keep getting better and better. I can't wait till next week, man. Like, these are really, and listen, you're actually the producer. You're the one who finds these topics for us.
Oh, thank you, man. You didn't have to say all that, man. You didn't have to say all that, man.
But I'm saying though, like, I don't watch I watch Joker while I work out. That's it. I produce a lot more content than I write. So someone like you who's sort of plugged into what's really going on, that really, really benefits the show. I mean, dude, if this thing gets monetized, this get 100,000 views. Like, I am not kidding.
Guys, like the video so it goes up in the algorithm, please. We have 1,000 plus viewers. We only got 1.1K likes. So this stuff can get pushed and more guys can get this awareness, man, and get safe putting noose on their necks.
Love it, man. Myron, great show. We will see